morning. How do you do? Welcome in. It is February again, and we're on Soup and Meatballs on a Sunday morning. Tim, how are you?
How is it February?
Isn't the clock goes 24 hours, 31 times. And
I thought it was still like 1994, and I'm 15 years old. Is that not the case?
According to the pain in my lower back, no, we are not 14 or 15.
If I tried to play, what kind of shape would you be in if you tried to play one game of full court basketball?
I'm trying to figure out how old I was. I was 16 in 1994. If I played a full court game of basketball, I can actually tell you because my school did this faculty versus student thing. They still do. We have a day called Color Day in Chambersburg, and I played. I was like a sub because they have really good players on the faculty team, and running up and down the court, not even at full speed, like. I cannot tell you the amount of pain in my shins and knees because I don't train. I don't run anymore. I walk when it's warm out. Jen walks now because she's a lunatic, but I will not walk until it's 80 degrees again.
I would be like Luca. I would only play one end of the floor, and everyone would look at my body and be like, "Why isn't he in better shape?"
I'm going to have enough pain and suffering today. So as we were talking before the show, my wife's show, musical rather, Beetlejuice went live this week. Kids did an awesome job. But really, one of the stars of the show, I think, was the set. It was massive. I don't know if I sent you pictures of like the full set. There's a house from end to end of a very large stage. I mean, it may be a middle school, but it was built as a junior high school. So the stage is legit, and it goes pillar to post. That thing has to get taken down. I don't know if it gets taken down today. We do have to get the drops, like the backgrounds boxed up. That's never fun. So the set strike day is one of my least favorite days of the year. We could draft our least favorite days of the year. That might be number one for me, and we get it twice because she does a summer show.
And that's a show where the set. Like you said, does a lot of heavy lifting just because it's so memorable in the movie, just like the design and What
was really cool about it was Act One. So the musical and the movie they're very similar. So the beginning of the show, the Maitlands die. In the junior version, they electrocute each other. In the Broadway version, they fall in a pit. I don't because in the movie they fall off the bridge.
Right.
So. They do their electrocution thing, and their house is like that. It's an awful mint green. It really looks like old fashioned. If you could put like the flower wallpaper up, that's what it was. So the guy who made it, his name is Matt. He builds it and paints it that awful color, and he hand painted these stripes to make it look like that old fashioned wallpaper. It's really cool. But then at the end of Act One, when Lydia decides, spoiler alert, if you've never seen the musical, when Lydia decides she's had enough of her father and this woman he's going to marry, she summons Beetlejuice, and Beetlejuice shows up and he's like, "Hey, guess what?" And they take over the house. It's not really explained what happens to Charles and Delia, the parents. They're just not around at the beginning of Act Two. But at the beginning of Act Two, Matt had created these overlays that were black and white striped, so it looks like Beetlejuice's outfit. And I remember I'm sitting in the back because I was doing the sound and lighting for her, and I told the one kid who's back there with me, I said, "Man, I am jealous of every one of these people in the audience right now because they don't know what's about to happen when the Act 2 curtain opens. They're going to see an entire new set, and they're going to be like, wow."
Yeah.
That's awesome. Because the guy who did the set did an outstanding job. Aside from Jen, who is a really great director, he was the co-MVP of the show, I think, with her.
I would just like to point out that you said Beetlejuice more than 3 times.
But in the show, it has to be 3 times spoken unbroken. So in one of the songs, like the girl Lydia has a song, and like she's like teasing him, like, "Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, before I say this word another time," and the kids who played, there was 2 kids who played Beetlejuice. They have this really cool nonverbal communication, like, oh, I'm gonna get alive, and then no. Like I said, the kids did a really good job for a junior show. I was really entertained, even though I had to work.
It sounds
I've been
like
working on the show for 3 weeks now. I'm glad it's over, kind of, so I can relax a little bit.
Yeah.
And Derek was in the pit. He played violin and trombone. I'll tell you what, I know I dad brag a lot, but this is a big deal. The show comes with music for piano, but in the pit there was a violin, there was a trombone, there was a viola, there was a bass, there was drums. There may have been one other one that I'm not thinking of. There was like multiple percussions because there was a drummer, but then there was another guy like on xylophone and like the type thing.
Yeah.
Derek transposed all the music, all of it.
He is to the Chambersburg music scene like what Prince was to 80s music, like guitar, piano, drums. He's doing it all.
And last night he comes home. He starts like, we're tired. I am just like, I have zero energy. My battery's been running on like 5% all weekend. Oh, by the way, he had a concert. Chambersburg has this festival of icicles in downtown. They get like ice carvers to do stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
He had a concert at 3:00 ahead of a show at 7:00. So and that concert was good. But he comes home and he starts playing the drums in the back room. I just want to fall in bed and fall asleep. Like I said, I woke up at 9:30 today. Like I'm still like in a fog, and he just comes home and plays. Prince is a cool comparison. He doesn't play basketball like Prince. Let's get that straight.
Game blouses.
Yes. Well, it was game blouses last week for New England and Seattle. We got ourselves a rematch. Not the rematch I was looking for. I wanted Super Bowl 20. We got a rematch of Super Bowl 49, which had one of the most memorable media days. That was Marshawn Lynch not wanting to be fined. And one of the most memorable endings when Marshawn Lynch didn't get the ball to 1 yard line. And the Patriots won 28-24. A lot of what ifs. And this year, Tim, we got a physical Patriots defense, which is on a roll. They've given up like 6 points this playoffs. And a Seahawks offense, which is pretty balanced, led by Sam Darnold. So we have the Patriots and Sam Darnold in the Super Bowl. This is the New York Jets' worst nightmare.
Yeah. I saw one of the sports panel shows was doing like who should be most upset about this matchup. And it was a toss-up between the Titans, who apparently are when they were looking for a coach before settling on Robert Saleh, they were looking for a Mike Vrabel type. You had Mike Vrabel in your building. You had the original. You don't.
I want somebody like this guy, not this guy exactly.
Right. Obviously the Jets, because they did their best to ruin Sam Darnold, and then they have to watch someone from their division go, or the Vikings.
Not just someone from their division, the Patriots, who they had this whole like mini rivalry with when Rex Ryan was there.
Right, and then you have the Vikings, who said, "No, Sam Darnold,
I forgot about
14
that.
games for us, but we're gonna throw in with JJ McCarthy."
He's never taken an NFL snap before. Yeah, there's a guy
one this year. He was always hurt.
There's a guy on TikTok who does this NFL comedy stuff, and he did this thing as a time traveler, going back to training camp, talking to the Jets. Like, we're excited about Justin Fields. Don't be. we still have to be better than No, you won't be. Don't even watch the Super Bowl. It's going to be bad for you.
I would just, if I were a time traveler, I would just go to the defensive backs and be like, I will give you $1 million for every interception you make this season. Who will take me up on that? I would
be afraid of the time space continuum, and does that I'm at like $17 million now.
Oh, then I would just I don't know, go back to 1994.
Do it again. Yeah,
come find me.
How many loops?
Backs?
Back when my back wasn't hurting and West Court was rocking.
Yeah.
This game, I think Super Bowl 60 has the makings of a good, like a football game that would actually be a good game. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. I don't know what the line is right now, but we're a week out, so it's going to fluctuate a little bit.
Seattle.
What are some of the things you're looking for in this one?
Seattle's been between like a 3 and a 4 point favorite. Um, it really feels like, because both defenses are very good and both quarterbacks are untested at this level. And I'm curious to see between Darnold and May who can handle this stage more capably. I don't know that Drake May's been tested like he'll be by this Seattle defense.
Coached by Mike McDonald, former Michigan guy. Michigan's got their. What I like about this matchup, you have the Michigan Seattle Seahawks versus Mike Vrabel and the Buckeye connection there. I think that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I know there's kind of been some talk among sports fans that the Patriots, people are throwing the F word around, that they're frauds. Because they had a light schedule during the regular season. They didn't have to face the Bo Nix Broncos.
Play who's in front of you.
You play who's in front of you. I don't know if they've played anyone at the level of Seattle, though. I
would agree with that. Well, defensively, Denver is definitely on Seattle's level, but
right,
like you said last week, was that defense going to be just worn down trying to keep them in the game? But I mean, they faced the defense like. And the Chargers weren't a terrible team. They just had a banged up offensive line. I think they've had an easier path to the Super Bowl than maybe Seattle did. But like we said, you play who's in front of you.
Yeah, and I don't know that they've faced a team that has the combination of Seattle's ability to put up 35 points and then put you behind the 8 ball trying to throw the ball and be one-dimensional against that Seattle defense.
I think you're looking at maybe the most balanced offense they're going to play. I mean, I like Kenneth Walker III as a back. And here's the thing, Sam Darnold has, I think, better weapons on the outside than Drake May does.
Oh, absolutely.
But I like you said, they're both untested at this level. And I think the coaches are also both untested at this level. So like the game is over right now. The game has been won. We just don't know who played it, who wins it, because all the preparation now is done. Coming up this week, you got media day coming up. Who can stay focused this week? That goes to coaching as well. Like I can't think of a big veteran presence on either side.
Well, Vrabel's been through it.
As a yeah. Who I mean, as a player though, who can get in that locker room and tell them, like, look, this is what we need to do as players to stay focused. The coaches are going to tell you, don't go out, don't get overwhelmed, and
don't be a Eugene Robinson. Remember going out and chatting with hookers? Yeah,
that was the Falcons Broncos.
Broncos, right? Yeah.
Don't get distracted. You're gonna get distracted a little bit, but don't let it overwhelm you. That's going to be what happens. So, like, in terms of the quarterbacks, I don't know. You said like they're the de facto leaders of the team. It's a really interesting comparison between a guy who's been bounced around the league, who has seen a couple things, and Drake May, who's in year 2.
I have an early trivia question for you, if you'd like.
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where the Mr. Noodlehead slide is, but lay it on me.
So, Sam Darnold is the third quarterback in NFL history to be on at least his 5th team and lead them to the Super Bowl. So not on the roster, he's not hanging on. He is the starting quarterback who is now playing on at least his 5th team and to take that team to the Super Bowl. Who are the other 2?
There are 2 quarterbacks who are on their 5th teams?
In NFL history.
Okay.
2 quarterbacks who were so far into their career, they were on at least the 5th team that they'd played for and then led that team to the Super Bowl.
I don't know how many teams he played for, but how about Stan Humphries with the Chargers?
That is a great guess, but it is not Stan Humphries. But he kicked around a little bit because
I just he was old or older. Who was the quarterback of those Dirty Bird Falcons? That guy?
It's Chris Chandler's one of them.
It's Chris
Chandler. That's what prompted the question.
Oh, cool. I didn't know his name.
The second one. The second one's going back a little bit.
I'll take a half point for that. Going back a ways, How about the quarterback for the Redskins when they beat the Broncos?
Doug Williams?
Sure.
It was not Doug Williams.
Not Doug. Who's the other one?
It is Earl Morrall in Super Bowl III with the Baltimore Colts. And then he went on to a sixth team because he played for the Dolphins. And when Bob Greasy got hurt during the perfect season, Earl Morrall he started like 6 or 7 games for them.
And he won 6 or 7 games for them.
Yeah. So Earl Morrall.
Good times, good times. So here it is, one game. Everybody, whoever wins it all. If you're gonna try to pick a favorite here, what would you trust more, like in-game analytics or coaching gut decisions? Because it was a coaching gut decision to throw the ball at the 1 yard line, where all the analytics would have said give Marshawn Lynch the ball. What do you trust more?
I'm going to say analytics because I think they factor into more plays. There are only 3 or 4 plays where you're like, I'm going with my gut here. I think analytics define the game for the most part, though.
All right, who do you got?
I've got Seattle, and fairly comfortably, I think.
Are you really? Okay. I'm
very impressed with Seattle and the NFC in general.
I put down Seattle 20, New England 16, where May is picked off late on a 4th and 1, tipped ball interception because he has a lot of those, and Rhamondre Stevenson doesn't try to get to run the ball for the first down. I think that'd be kind of.
I'll say something like Seattle 27-17.
Okay, that's comfortable enough. I can go with that.
Double digits. It'll be a game. They're not going to get blown out, I don't think, but they're going to cover the spread.
All right. So we were going to talk about this last week. We were off Beetlejuice stuff and other stuff, and I didn't want to talk about this before the Bears-Rams game because I didn't want to be jinxing McJinxie, but here we are. Dan Orlovsky came out, and actually you texted me something that Matt Leinart said, which is similar, that said if, and it's a hypothetical now because he's not going to, if Matt Stafford won his 2nd Super Bowl this year, he'd be in the conversation as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. That's the attributed quote to Dan Orlovsky. The tweet that you sent from Matt Leinart said that he would be a top 5 quarterback of all time with another Super Bowl win. I don't think he mentioned anything about another MVP. So with that, you said that someone needed to give Matt Leinart a CAT scan or check him for drugs or whatever.
Test his pee, yeah.
And I thought about this for a while, and I thought, you know what, if you give him a 2nd Super Bowl and a 2nd MVP,
this would be his first MVP, I believe.
What's that?
Stafford, if he wins it would be his first MVP.
Okay. I'm kind of with Orlovsky here because what he says on that attributed quote, which is over there, I think, it puts him in the conversation as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So here, let's break this down. Let's do the Matt Leinart top 5 thing. Who do you have number 1? This is a tough.
Brady. Yeah.
Okay, right, no arguments at this point, obviously. From 2, 3, 4, 5, I think you have to start quantifying what you prioritize. Like fantasy points. Is it passing yards, passing touchdowns? Is it wins? Is it rings? Is it MVPs? Because that's like a lot of the ways that all of these quarterbacks I have a list of them, how you can lay 2 through 5 down.
I don't think it can be stats because Matthew Stafford is playing a different game than Johnny Unitas played. Even a different game than Montana and Marino were playing.
Going to finish with 3 times the number of yards as Terry Bradshaw.
It was wild when Fran Tarkenton retired with like 47,000 career yards, and people were like, oh, almost 50,000 career yards. Now we have guys who've thrown for 60, 70, 80,000 career yards.
We live in a world where Matt Ryan has more passing yards than Dan Marino.
Yes. So passing yards, passing touchdowns, you can't blame the quarterback for taking advantage of the game as it's currently played, but you can't hit a quarterback basically, and you can't touch a receiver.
Tim, I'm sorry. You just said the words "hit a quarterback," and I saw flag.
I think I got fined by the league for even suggesting you could hit a quarterback. I did it again. I can't play next week. I'm ejected for the podcast.
You're gonna get us kicked off the internet, man.
So I think you can judge stats against their contemporaries, but I don't think you can judge, Matthew Stafford's numbers against Otto Graham. I think you have to take into account championships, and that's pre-Super Bowl and Super Bowls.
So while I'm okay with that, our consensus number one, Tom Brady, may have 7, but how many of those were the defense responsible for? Like that's the argument that you're going to get into with people who like passing yards is a big thing, and I'm with you. It's a different game today. There's arguments on every side of it that it was Tom Brady really responsible for the Super Bowl 49 win. Yeah, he put them in position, but I hand the ball to Marshawn Lynch. He's got 1 fewer ring.
I think by any metric, Matthew Stafford is not. I think it's silly to even have to say that he's not in the top 5 because to say that makes it seem like he's even in consideration in my mind as a top 5 quarterback. And I like Matthew Stafford a lot. That's the problem with these conversations is now like I'm denigrating Matthew Stafford.
No. This is arbitration. Like, yeah, we both love you, except we don't want to pay you that much. No,
yeah, is he better than Brady, Montana, Elway?
Okay.
Marino, Rodgers, Breeze, Roethlisberger. He's not better than any of those guys.
I wonder if your opinion may have changed if he was not drafted by Detroit, or if he were to be traded sooner, had he had the opportunity to have more success earlier in his career. Because I think he compares favorably with John Elway and Dan Marino. I really do. And maybe it's I go back to the one, I don't know if it was I think it was the Thanksgiving game where he gets hit and he gets his shoulder separated, and there's like Cleveland. 3 seconds left, and he comes up and he throws a touchdown pass. Like, I don't know if I could find 5 quarterbacks that I'd want in my huddle, and that's kind of how I would build my list. Brady's a leader. I want him there. I'm with you on. I'm with you on John Elway and Dan Marino, and I'd love them to lead my team. But Aaron Rodgers, and maybe it's because he's a Packer, but like he's been in positions in the playoffs where he could have taken over and won games that he didn't. Who else did you throw? We didn't even say Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning's up there.
Yeah, Peyton Manning. Like
Joe Montana, same thing. He's like, hey, that's John Candy in the stands in the Super Bowl before the game-winning drive. Like, that kind of stuff, he's the kind of guy I'd want leading my huddle. But I think
Stafford without his ring is Phillip Rivers.
Okay.
A very good quarterback, a Hall of Fame quarterback. But, Deion Sanders talked about the Hall of Fame. Then there's that separate room that's for certain guys, like that inner sanctum. Stafford's not an inner sanctum guy for me.
I don't know. All of this is moot because he didn't win his second. So he's behind Patrick Mahomes right now.
Yeah, Mahomes is a guy who's I didn't even mention Mahomes
because he's
obviously higher than Stafford.
When I was writing my list out, I was only considering the quarterbacks not playing anymore. I hadn't thought about Mahomes. But like Mahomes in terms of, if you look at, so I compared, I'll throw the names at you in alphabetical order. Bradshaw, Brady, Breeze. I put Eli Manning, so with an E. Elway, Favre, Manning, Peyton.
Don't get me started on Eli. And I like Eli, but he doesn't belong.
Marino, Matt Ryan, Montana, Rivers, Rodgers, Roethlisberger, Russ Wilson, and then Stafford. I hadn't even thought of putting Mahomes in there. When you put Mahomes in there in terms of, if we're like just ranking them with yards, Mahomes is down near the bottom, but he's also damn near the top in terms of Super Bowl wins and Super Bowl MVPs with touchdowns. Yeah, he's still down at the bottom, but he's also still playing. So if you're leaning towards championships, yeah, you have to say Patrick Mahomes is up there.
Stafford's not even in my top 10, probably, if I'm putting together a list.
Oh, that hurts.
Like, would I?
He would be in my top 10 for sure. Yeah,
I'd have to
guys I want quarterbacking my team.
I'd have to sit and make a list, but like, I don't have Stafford over Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman doesn't have the stats of some of these guys like a Phillip Rivers or a Stafford or an Eli, but
Aikman had a super team around. Troy Aikman's like the LeBron James of the world. Like they were drafted to his team. He had a lot of stuff around him.
Right. I mean,
he didn't even make my list of people to compare, and that's saying something. When I put like Matt Ryan on the list,
like I would put Stafford over Matt Ryan.
No, I would put Aikman above Matt Ryan, obviously. It's something we could talk about for quite a while, which we probably should, because I don't want to tear down the set. let's keep this up. I like what you said about Deion Sanders, though. Like, there's a Hall of Fame and there's a Hall of not really good or whatever, because the National Football League's Hall of Fame class of 2026 is going to be unveiled this week. And before we talk about the 5 people who we think might get in, I think the larger story of the week was definitely more negative and who wasn't getting in. And it erupted into a whole thing this week on Sports Talk and whatever. You got a guy who won 6 Super Bowls as a head coach, 2 more as an assistant, 333 overall wins, second only to Don Shula. This is in the free agent and salary cap era. 10 consecutive division titles, 17 overall. I mean, obviously, by numbers alone, Bill Belichick's a Hall of Famer. But why is Bill Belichick not going to be a Hall of Famer this year?
Well, it depends who you ask. I forget the name of the writer for the Kansas City. He's the Kansas City Chiefs beat writer.
Vahey Gregorian.
Thank you.
I don't know. If I mispronounce his first name, he's allowed to mispronounce my first name.
But he made the point that it was a flawed voting system where you can only pick so many. And he felt that Belichick was a gimme.
He voted for Ken Anderson.
So he voted for Ken Anderson, L.C. Greenwood. Yeah, that's valid. That's a systemic failure to say, like, you have to champion the people who need to be championed, and so Belichick, who should have been a layup, gets left off ballots.
What's funny to me is he missed it by 1 ballot, allegedly. That's what the reports are. He missed it by 1 ballot.
Where it gets a little iffier is if people left him off because of Deflategate or Spygate.
Which is where longtime Indianapolis Colts reporter Mike Chappell comes in. He's got a vote. He's from Fox 59 Indianapolis. He said he voted for Kraft, but that Spygate was a factor in his leaving Bill Belichick off. Now,
there are worse people who have done far worse things who got into the Hall of Fame. It's supposed to be about.
That's the thing. Like, everybody's saying, well, he'll get in next year. He'll get in next year. Here's the petty in me. If I'm Bill Belichick, not only am I on to Tulane or whoever they're playing, I would tell the NFL Hall of Fame to go scratch themselves. You want to make me a bust? Fine. I'm not showing up. And I'll tell you what, if this is about Spygate or Deflategate or whatever that silly stuff is, I don't. People like Tom Brady can't get in on the first ballot. Then can they?
And that's the point. And also,
and how
here's the thing:
is that?
There was punishment meted out. They lost draft picks. They had to pay fines.
Well, people say the same thing about baseball, where Barry Bonds was never suspended. I don't think Clemens was Clemens suspended for PEDs.
I don't believe he was.
I mean, okay, so there's the comparisons, apples and bananas there. But yeah, like, we lost draft picks money and all that, but Robert Kraft was part of that. But so you vote for him, but not the guy who's on the field.
Well, and that's the other thing is, it's no secret that Bill Belichick has a bit of a prickly personality.
Oh, he's warm and fuzzy. He's a Care Bear.
I think that factored into people not being inclined. Robert Kraft, whatever else you might want to say about him, he's got a good reputation, among owners and among media. He's well liked, and I just don't know that Belichick is. He's well respected. And
this is where if Bill Belichick is prickly enough, he could theoretically. He probably won't do this, but I would love for him to say, the Hall of Fame, you've lost all credibility. I don't want to be part of you. Take the gold jacket and shove it.
the Hall of Fame has lost all credibility. I would argue, and look, I'm not a Patriots fan,
No, neither am I.
but I would argue, and I think most would, that Bill Belichick is the greatest coach in NFL history. And
Hard
if
to
he can,
argue.
and if
Going
he,
back to the defensive game plan he put forth in Super Bowl 25. Let's not forget how awesome that Bills offense was. I mean, the best offense is a good offense in the third quarter when they held the ball for 14 minutes. But still, he shut down a really good offense as a coordinator. 2 Super Bowl rings under Bill Parcells to go with the 6 that he won on his own. Yeah.
and so to say that, well, we'll let you in eventually, but we're going to make you wait. It just, underlines the absurdity of the whole process.
It reeks of, if I'm not a Hall of Famer now, what did I do? How did my stats change next year?
And also, it's been pointed out, then what does this do for the Tom Coughlins and the Mike Shanahans, guys like that whose eligibility will be coming up? And now if a spot on the ballot is taken up by Belichick next year, who gets pushed off? There will be ripple effects because now others will be made to wait so they can do the right thing and put Belichick in next year. And, this is a common complaint against Halls of Fame where T.O. had to wait until the 3rd ballot. T.O.'s a top 5 receiver of all time. Joe DiMaggio wasn't a first ballot Hall of Famer. I mean, there are absurdities like this littered through voting process across sports.
We should draft our all-time not first ballot Hall of Famers.
DiMaggio, I think DiMaggio might have been 3rd ballot. Chris Carter was a 6th ballot.
So, I don't get it, but we have to have Halls of Fame inductions every year, so you have to wait just in case there's nobody coming up that we can enshrine. I don't know, the whole concept of this has actually irritated me in a way that it shouldn't have, because I'm no Patriot fan. I'm not even a Bill Belichick fan. But on Monday, I'm listening to Evan Cohen in the morning, who is a big Patriots fan and he loves Bill Belichick. He came on national media flaming mad, super duper, wow, you've been personally wrong, and you're using your national pedestal as a means to just complain to the nth degree. And I said, you know what? I'm getting angry with you because the more you talk, the worse this really sounds.
I mean, truly, if someone like Bill Belichick can't get it on the first ballot, then why have a Hall of Fame?
Why have a Hall of Fame? That's, and there we go. Why have a Hall of Fame? And instead of, celebrating the Hall of Fame, Bill's girlfriend, Jordan Hudson, is planning a big party for Belichick the same day as the induction ceremony. People magazine reporting this. People like Tom Brady, Bill Parcells, Jimmy Johnson, a slew of other celebrities, A-listers, whatever, invited to that party instead of going to Canton. We'll see where they go.
I think speaking of Bill Belichick's girlfriend, I think it was Seth Meyers who had the joke. He mentioned something about, ironically, Bill Belichick selects his girlfriends based on if they're in their first year of eligibility.
Well, going to the good news then, 15 finalists, I think it was, up to 5 can make it. The entire class ranging from 4 to 8. So the modern era finalists, here they are. Willie Anderson, tackle; Drew Brees, quarterback; Jari Evans, offensive line guard; Larry Fitzgerald, the wide receiver; Frank Gore, the running back; Torrey Holt, the wide receiver; Luke Kuechly, linebacker; Eli Manning, quarterback; Terrell Suggs, outside linebacker; Adam Vinatieri, kicker. Let's not put him in. Reggie Wayne, wide receiver; Kevin Williams, defensive tackle; Jason Witten, the tight end; Darren Woodson, safety; and Marshall Yonda, who is another offensive lineman. You had sent me a text. I had to go back in time. It was 150 scrolls ago about who I would pick. And I said the only 2 that were slam dunks were Brees and Fitzgerald.
Yeah, they have to.
I think they have to be. And after that, this is where we had some differences. I said Frank Gore should be in, 3rd on the all-time rushing lists. He's a Hall of Famer.
I think he's got to wait.
I said Jason Witten among tight ends. He had all kinds of numbers. I don't what
He'll
I wrote
get in,
down.
but he has to wait too for me.
And I didn't know. I'm looking at these names. I didn't want to go and do stat dives or anything like this. So I went to Bloomsburg route. I put Jari Evans in there because he's local. I don't know how you quantify linemen anyway, but yeah, put him in because why not?
I think Jari does get in eventually. I just, this time it's going to be tough because Breeze and Fitzgerald are locks. I think one of, if not both, of Holt and Wayne have to get in.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned those.
You're going to have a faction for Gore, like you said, just because of the numbers, being third all time in rushing. I personally think Luke Kuechly has to be in.
You had Kuechly in there. I remember that.
And then you're going to have the push for if not Jari, at least one lineman. You're going to have the Witten people. I don't think. Who'd you say? Darren Woodson, Vinatieri.
Yeah, Darren Woodson from the Cowboys. He was a great player, great safety.
Oh, they're all great players at this point, but Terrell Suggs, I think, is going to have to wait.
Eli Manning, you said don't get you started on Eli Manning, so let's get you started on Eli Manning.
I watched, as an Eagles fan, Eli Manning for his entire career, and never once did I say, "Oh no, we have Eli Manning this week." I'll reference a name that I brought up in a text with you this week. Eli Manning to me is Jim Plunkett with better PR.
Okay.
He's got the 2 rings. Are we gonna? Jim Plunkett get fitted for a jacket? We gonna make a bust of Jim Plunkett now because he has 2 rings? Eli was very good, but if he didn't play in New York, we would not be having this conversation.
Okay. I didn't have him picked on my list. I just wanted to get you started on him because you said don't get me started.
Mr. Plunkett, are you a 39 regular? A 42 long? We need to get you fitted for your jacket, Mr. Plunkett. No.
Well, I'll tell you what. Somebody's not getting fitted for a jacket just yet. He does have a ring though, and he's 16-0.
If Eli Manning gets in the Hall of Fame.
Fernando Mendoza. Like I said, we missed last week, so we missed talking about this one. Indiana, Miami. I took Miami in what I thought would have been a shootout. You took Indiana. You said it was going to be a defensive battle. I think you were closer than I was, to be fair, because you had the winner. But score-wise, it was a little higher than I think you thought. Man, from what I remember about this game, notes I wrote down, just Mendoza was special. Like, dude, he took the game over, and the hit he took in the first quarter with the bloody lip. You did something similar back in your days playing. I don't know if you remember this against East Stroudsburg, but you definitely hit a quarterback after he handed the ball off.
Oh, 100%.
You didn't lead with your head like the guy from Miami did, but and I don't think you made the East Stroudsburg quarterback's mouth bleed. But
well, and also mine was an eyesight issue.
Well, you saw this big purple glob like Grimace. Like, let me go hit him. Sure. I don't know if he has the ball or not. Mendoza didn't have a lot of gaudy numbers. Like, if you look at the box score, it doesn't say it doesn't give you the true story of how special he was. The Indiana's up by 3, fourth quarter. They have the ball. It's 4th and 5. And the throw that he makes, that back shoulder.
He had Charlie 2 great back shoulder throws.
Like that play, the back shoulder throw, that's a new thing. Like, we didn't have that growing up. But that was as perfect a ball as you could throw. On a 4th and 5 in a national title game, you're only up by 3, and you're like at midfield. And then the other timing, 4th – go ahead.
The timing and the trust on both of those throws in that spot, especially the one you were referencing on 4th and 5, I thought Miami defended him really well in the first half. They got pressure on him. They got him on the ground. And I think it really speaks to his character, the way that he came back from that to have the second half that he did. I mean, the play, obviously, that everyone talks about of him, muscling through 2 tackles and then getting hit in the back at the goal line.
The John Elway moment.
Yeah.
Where I just say John Elway, and the Spinaroonie. That was – and who was it? Oh, my gosh. somebody on one of the national broadcasts was talking about he didn't have to dive. He just did that for flair.
Dan Le Batard said that.
Was it Le Batard? Shut up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you texted me that. I said, yeah, we'll talk about that. Shut up with that. It was a Miami fan, of course. That was, you take away that kind of play from that kid. No, that's the snapshot of the whole game right there.
In the moment, I was impressed that he even got the first down because of the 2 hits he took right near the sticks. And then for him to break out of that, he 100% had to dive at the goal line. He wanted 6.
And you know what? That sealed the game, I think. Put them up double digits.
Absolutely.
So amazingly, if you look back at the season now, I found 4 bullet points online that this is something else. Which do you think was the most shocking coming out of the college football season if we went back to August? 1, Indiana going 16-0. 2, the preseason 1 and 2 teams, Texas and Penn State, not even in the 12-team playoff. The fall off that we saw from LSU and Clemson, or this hits home, Sharon Moore not only getting fired but winding up in jail.
Sharon Moore. Sharon Moore is one of the most shocking college stories of the 2020s. You know,
I think aside from LSU and Clemson, which they had sub 500 years, big deal. All 3 of those are so Indiana not winning it all. All right, they were a good team, but 16-0. That's
if you would have told me in August, if you would have said, Indiana's going to go 16-0, win it all, I would have registered mild surprise. I would have been like, huh, wow, Cignetti really turned that around. But if
Texas
you told
and Penn
me
State not making the playoffs at all, neither.
That's the second most shocking.
Yeah,
but
Sharon Moore getting jailed.
Sharon Moore,
you don't bet on that. Fired, maybe.
Yeah, it was seeing him in a prison jumpsuit, at a hearing. Yeah, I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card.
That doesn't bring our college football talk to an end, because I saw this posted on the Twitters. Alejandro Zuniga, the credit to this one here. Advertising patches possibly coming to college football uniforms as early as next season, and Michigan is open to the idea. Ward Manuel says it's a significant revenue stream, something he wants to take a look at. And honestly, as much as I dislike this, the idea is that schools are going to continue to generate alumni revenues and ticket revenues to equal the payments that they're giving out to these kids is foolish. I mean, Michigan gave a $19 million deal to a kid who had never taken a college snap before. You can't keep doing this. So what do you think? I got the soup and meatballs patch on Bryce there. Looks good.
I'm surprised it's taken this long.
Really?
It's
MLB's done it. The NBA has it, at least as far as practice. I don't know if do they have it on their game jerseys yet?
Yeah, and I mean, look at obviously NASCAR. It's been a joke for decades about the sponsorships on NASCAR. Like elite, professional soccer.
Sure. Yeah.
So if we're going to be paying college athletes now, the money has to come from somewhere.
That there was 2 stadiums, and Michigan Stadium is one of them. I can't think of the other one off the top of my head, that don't do in-stadium advertising. They don't have billboards. And a lot of people thought that was nice.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see schools sell corporate naming rights to their stadiums.
Super Meatball Stadium at State College, sure. It's a significant revenue stream.
It's only 15 degrees away from having the Nike swoosh or whatever on a jersey anyway, really. I mean, that's not sponsorship. It's the exclusivity deal, that you sign with whoever. But
Penn State went to Adidas, and that was $5 million or something, which is paltry considering what they've paid Drew Aller this year. And you got to get the money somewhere. So, like I said, as much as I dislike this, from I don't know, what do you call it? The old way. It's the way it used to be.
Yeah, just in terms of the practical nature of what the sport is. This is all the arguments that we saw 25 years ago about ads that were projected behind home plate at baseball games and things like that on broadcast.
Now
We're
they're
going
on
to
the
see those same
mound.
arguments now with college football.
We'll see. It could be as early as next year. We'll see. Nothing's official. Just something I saw. What is official with Michigan, at least Michigan basketball, is it's just in. They're really good. Uh, they had their in-state rivalry game. Number 3 Michigan, number 7 Michigan State. Tom Izzo, the Izzo, and all that stuff. And Michigan ran out to a 16-point lead that Michigan State erased, and then they took the lead themselves. But the Wolverines right the ship, come out with a 12-point win on the road. They're 20-1 right now. And with all the wins, all the double-digit wins against top 10 teams, it makes the loss to Wisconsin even more head-scratching. Like, how did that happen?
And, we've kind of talked about this Michigan team where, they're not a strong perimeter shooting team. They're going to have nights like that where the shots don't fall, and they're going to have those kind of like inexplicable losses. But this was a good week between Michigan State and they beat previously undefeated Nebraska.
It's a tough week for them.
Yeah, but Michigan's kind of rolling right now.
I don't know where they are in their schedule, how close we are to because I was looking at my Chambersburg High School schedule. They've got 4 regular season games left for before their districts start. So it's usually when you get to that part of the schedule in high school, we got to be closing in on conference tournament stuff.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where we're going to start seeing like the mid-major conference tournaments on ESPN, and then like the major conferences. I would say sometime like first week of March.
10 more games on their schedule, and wow, looking at this, Saturday, February 21st, Duke. The very next Friday, they're at Illinois. They're a top 10 team, and they closed March 8th. They closed the regular season home against number 7 Michigan State. They will have iron sharpening iron. They're going to close the season out with some good teams plus the Big Ten tournament.
Big Ten's tough this year.
Sure they are. I mean, you just look at. Just had them up here. There's a producer in my ear scrolling down. 1, 2, 3, 4 top 10 teams right now, and then you got Purdue at 12.
Yeah.
And there's we talked about Wisconsin at 16-6. One of those 16 is a road win at Michigan, though.
Wisconsin feels like a team, like a 22-win team, and depending on what they do in the conference tournament, could be like a 7, 8, 9, 10 seed in the tournament. There'll be trouble.
I can get down with that. Speaking of trouble, let's talk about the NBA. The Thunder must have known we were going to be off last week, because when we're on, so are they. When we're off, 6-4 in their last 10. What is that? 2 of those losses against Miami and Indiana.
Remember
what happened to the Thunder besides us not being on air?
Remember when everyone was talking about, could they win 75 games?
Yeah, will they ever lose again? Well, can they win 80? Will they win 81?
Yeah.
No, they can't.
Just, they've come back down to earth. It's, people talk about the trouble with repeating. You play a long season into June. You've got tired legs now as you're getting toward the All-Star break.
They're still 5 games in first place in the Western Conference.
Oh, yeah. They're
38-11. They're very good. They're just not historically amazing.
And I think they play Denver tonight, who's in 3rd in the West and just got Jokic back. That'll be a fun watch.
They overtook the Spurs. The Spurs are a half game worse. They both have 16 losses, but the Nuggets have 33 to 32 wins.
Yeah, the Nuggets played really well without Jokic.
Thunder at Nuggets tonight, 9:30.
Yeah,
on the Peacock.
Yeah, so that should be a fun one. I feel like Oklahoma City, not really going to be challenged for that 1 seed in the West, though. Like they're struggling now, but they're too talented to not right the ship.
The other NBA news I saw, this was just the other day. We talked about this situation a couple weeks ago. James Najee, the kid who was drafted and he played pro ball in Europe. Now he's playing at Baylor.
Yeah.
Well, now Amari Bailey has entered the chat. Amari Bailey wants to be the first basketball player to return to college after actually playing in the NBA. 10 games, he's averaged 2.3 points. He has now hired a lawyer and is prepared to fight for NCAA eligibility in the hopes to join a college team, play one more season. He's playing under a $1.8 million contract right now. He's going to make more in college. But what do you make of this? What's going to happen with this guy? And how does that affect the league going forward?
You know, I truly don't know what's going to happen with this. I don't know what constitutes being an amateur, being a professional. You know, it used to be pretty cut and dried. And
but NIL is taking that out. I mean,
if you got paid for playing a sport, you were a professional athlete. Yeah. And if you were at any time a professional athlete, you had no college eligibility. I truly don't know what the ruling will be here.
If he goes back, this is what I'd like to see. This is, again, the ridiculousness in me. If he goes back, you know who I want to see go to college and play college basketball?
LeBron.
Just, you know what? Instead of retiring, go back. Go to USC, like where your son played. Go to Ohio State. I don't care. Just go play 1 year of college basketball. Just to show how ridiculous this is.
I just want to see a team of guys who were in the heyday of guys jumping right from high school to the pros, just assembling like the Expendables, like Garnett, LeBron, Dwight Howard, McGrady, and then all just like join up and play at like UCLA for a season.
That would fit LeBron's MO. Let's assemble a super team and win the NCAA tournament, because that's one thing Michael has on him. Michael has an NCAA championship.
like truly, like it would just the same way that we'd said about the Belichick vote, exposing the absurdity of Halls of Fame. This would expose the absurdity of the current situation in college sports.
I would love to see it, but you know what? I don't want it at UCLA. I want it like at a Butler or like Southeast Louisiana Tech, someplace like who?
JMU.
There you go. Yeah,
I wanted to do it at Bucknell so I could go to some games, and
that would be wild. Sure, I don't know if LeBron has the grades to get into Bucknell, but either way, one thing LeBron isn't at. I mean, he's not part of the All-Star game. I don't think. At least he wasn't named.
They haven't named reserves yet that I saw.
Okay. But, you know, the All-Star Game's coming up, and they've tweaked the format again in an attempt to build interest. And I think very few people are interested at this point in the weekend overall. But I just sent in this video yesterday. It was a podcast from Bill Simmons, and they had a viewer named Micah Adams who came up with this idea. We both think this is incredible. You want to break it down for us?
Yeah.
I love it.
Royal Rumble style.
But so not not like actual fighting.
Right. So two guys playing either knockout or one-on-one for whatever, like 2 minutes. And then,
I don't think it could be knockout. 2-player knockout I'm not in on. But a one-on-one game? Yeah.
Yeah. Give me that. Especially like when you're playing a timed one-on-one game.
Yeah.
Winners outs. And then every like 2 minutes or whatever, another person gets called out.
Play the winner.
It could be a current college player. It could be a former pro.
Anybody. It could be
Caitlin Clark. It could be a celebrity, maybe.
And think about this. So here's what I want to do. I don't know. I don't know when our next show is going to be, because the next couple of weekends I have the marching band is going to Disney, and I'm going to be there. Whenever our next show is, you have 15, I'm going to have 15, just random people, and we're going to have AI do this. Like, I'll type in the prompt, like Royal Rumble style. So whoever number one is, if they win their first 5 games, they've played 5 games. And, this guy's coming out fresh. I want to do this. I want to have a 30-man AI Royal Rumble one-on-one game. This might be the best idea the NBA will never do.
And see, that's the thing. The NBA needs to steal this idea. I'd be surprised if they haven't at least talked about it, if they're aware.
I hope. I mean, it's not going to happen though. But what might happen? Oh no! Here I wanted to show you this. Oh, what I bounce ahead of myself. Here's the Let's Rumble thing. I found this online, and these always they drive me nuts. They say this one says bench 3 to form a starting 5. So I think this could be a toughie because you have to have positionally they have to make sense. So I assume all 8 players are on your team, and you're not going to be putting them on the other team. So who are you going to put on the bench? Who would your starting 5 be out of these 8 players? If you can't see it at home, Kobe, Steph Curry, Tim Duncan, Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Shaquille O'Neal. They're on the team. So who starts for you?
So the thing that drives me crazy with this is a lot of times you'll see people who finagle these and they're like, oh, I'm going to have Olajuwon as my power forward. He was a center. I'm only going to consider him at center.
Fair enough.
Okay. Like people do that with Kareem where they're like, forward. I'll make Wilt Chamberlain my center and Kareem's my power forward. Okay, smart guy.
I did not do that. So.
I'm going to go I'm taking Shaq over Hakeem for my center.
I did too. Amazing. We're 1 for 1.
And then Duncan and LeBron are my forwards.
Okay. I put Duncan at power forward.
And I'm taking Jordan and Steph.
Jordan and Steph. I put Kevin Durant at small forward, and I might be cheating out of position, but he's played like that kind of point forward before. I put LeBron at point guard.
Okay.
Because I thought, he's the kind of guy who can facilitate Magic Johnson style. But I have no qualms with your starting 5 either. I think
Could you imagine Steph and Shaq in the same half court offense?
Trying pick and rolls or I can't imagine how big Shaq is. Like a kind of a screen he would set would get me open, let alone Steph Curry.
And then Jordan just slashing in from the wing. Oh, my God.
I wonder if Jordan would like to play on a team like this because I don't know.
I don't know. He enjoyed the Dream Team experience, seemingly.
I think he enjoyed the golf and the ping pong. I'm not sure he enjoyed Charles Barkley leading the team in scoring. Just our team stuff. I mean, I heard this on the radio. I didn't think it was even a possibility, but Jason Tatum apparently came out and said he's not coming back this year. I didn't think he was going to be ready even if for the playoffs, but if he was, I saw some video of him working out, shooting some shots. What are your thoughts on him saying, I'm just not coming back this year?
I think it's wise.
I like it too. But
the last thing you want is for him to rush back from Achilles, just see him writhing on the court again. Make sure the Achilles is right. Make sure you're healthy.
The team that's in 3rd place in the East, it's not like I really like Indiana had a really serious injury. They're 23 games out. They're a lottery team. Yeah. Boston, they're a good team. I don't know if you want to mess with the chemistry. Saying that Jason Tatum would mess with the chemistry feels weird, but they got a good thing going here. You're finding other pieces.
They have an outside shot of winning the East. I think Detroit is too good. I think Detroit wins the East, but the Celtics play Detroit tough because the Celtics are an elite defensive team. I think Jaylen Brown has to be in the MVP conversation, averaging 30 a night for a team that wasn't expected to be quite this good. I don't think the upside of having Tatum come back is worth the possible risk of him rupturing the Achilles again.
That's fair. The talk around the Knicks, I mean, well, first of all, they've won 5 in a row. Yeah. The possibility of, and it's in a couple days, we'll see. The trade deadline's coming up, and there's this guy in Milwaukee who apparently doesn't want to play in Milwaukee anymore. And the Knicks are on one of the lists to possibly get the services of Giannis Antetokounmpo. And the more I think about it, the more I wonder if this is a bad idea for New York, based on where they are, in terms of the standings and team chemistry. They'd have to get rid of Karl Anthony Towns, who helps on the defensive end where Jalen Brunson's not a good defender. And Giannis he's an average defender, but he's not a rim protector.
No, Giannis is an elite defender.
Is he?
He's a former Defensive Player of the Year 2 times.
Right. At this point in his career, coming off of 3 ankle or leg injuries, do you think?
I would still have him as an elite defender.
I'm thinking about the injury history, and he's injured now. He's out 4 to 6.
Yeah.
So
I think that's the bigger caveat, is that he's 31 now or 30.
He's on the other side of it, coming off his 3rd leg injury.
Yeah, and big guys, because Giannis, being whatever, they have him at 6'11", 7 feet, with lower limb injuries, those only get worse as time goes on for big guys. Their joints just break down.
5 years ago? Yeah, sign me up.
Oh, it's a no-brainer 5 years ago.
It feels weird saying I don't want the Knicks to trade Karl Anthony Towns and draft picks for Giannis Antetokounmpo. This year's draft, again, I have no idea. I don't have any firsthand knowledge of this, but what all the radio people say, the entire first round is just chock full of like insane talent.
Yeah.
Which, Oklahoma City probably has 4 first-round picks, so it might not matter in the long run.
Maybe they'll land Giannis.
They might. I don't know. But I'll start paying attention a little bit, like I say, later. I actually pay more attention to Major League Baseball right now, and the Yankees have finally signed Cody Bellinger. That's like a big thing in New York. We'll get to that in a little bit. The other thing that's going on in Major League Baseball is their Hall of Fame was announced, and Carlos Beltran, Andrew Jones. We talked about them last year. Like, I think they made both our lists in some way, shape, or form. They're on their way to Cooperstown, and I think that's a good thing. I think both of them were integral parts of the Yankees at some point and should wear the Yankee cap into Cooperstown.
Well, I'll say this. Andrew Jones is, I would argue, the best defensive center fielder of my lifetime. So you're talking about, a guy who played defensively at that level, like a 450 home run guy as a switch hitter. I think this is, I'm surprised it took this long. He's absolutely worthy of Cooperstown. Beltran was a little more fringy, I thought, but I certainly have no problem with his being voted in.
4th year on the ballot for Carlos Beltran. 9th year for Andrew Jones. No one of the finalists that I have listed here, Cole Hamels on the first ballot got 101 votes, 23.8%, far below the 75% threshold that you need. Felix Hernandez, 46% on his second ballot. And Dustin Pedroia on his second ballot, 20%. These guys, you'll see them on the lists, and then they'll eventually fade to the Veterans Committee, I'm sure.
I feel like Felix and Chase Utley might get in next year, just because the first time names on the ballot are so underwhelming next year.
Oh my gosh, you sent me that picture. How do you vote for anybody? And that's where people are like, well, you know what? We'll put Bill Belichick in next year. Or there we are. I'm okay with having a year like, look, there's nobody on the list. We're gonna have a celebration of all the living Hall of Famers. We'll have all them come in. We'll have a party. We'll reminisce. We'll be nostalgic. We don't have to induct Bobby Abreu just because we have to induct somebody.
Yeah, the only person from next year's list who will get in is Buster Posey. Just because, Joe Mauer's already in. Statistically, I think they're pretty comparable, and Posey has the postseason success.
Capture all the rings, sure.
And, they were both like batting champions. They were both MVPs. But then when you throw in the rings for Posey, I think he's going to be a no-brainer next year. I think Felix gets at least into the 60% range in the vote, but I think he even creeps up maybe into the 70s. I think Felix Hernandez gets in next year.
Andy Pettit going on ballot number 9. He was at 48.5. I think that's about where he maxes out.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean,
very good.
I'm surprised Ryan Braun got 15 votes.
So here it is, the other end of the spectrum. Players who drop off the list with less than 5%. Nick Markakis' mom is apparently a baseball writer. And somehow Shin-Soo Choo, who may be the best player to ever come from Korea, he made one All-Star team, but he got 3 Hall of Fame votes.
Well, Daniel Murphy. Oh,
That's got to hurt. Daniel Murphy is. I like Major League Baseball. I don't know Daniel Murphy.
Played for the Mets, the Nationals. Had a really good postseason back in was it 2015 when the Mets
Royals.
Mets Royals.
Yeah. Howie Kendrick, I remember from the Angels. Gio Gonzalez, I remember.
Sure.
Alex Gordon, I remember. Porcello. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of silly to see that 6 people thought Edwin Encarnacion was a Hall of Famer.
And it's interesting when you look at this list because Ryan Braun, an MVP, and Matt Kemp was an MVP runner-up. Some of these guys were really good players.
Matt Kemp was was he a weird bat for the Dodgers? Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the fun part of this side.
So long, fellas. We hardly knew you.
Hardly knew you. Like I said, the Yankees signed Cody Bellinger, 5 years, $162.5 million. Really could turn out to be a 2-year deal, though, because it's got one of those 2-year opt-out clauses. So I kind of hope it's a 2-year deal because the only way he doesn't opt out is if he plays poorly. And he's like, I'm just going to sit and collect the $77 million that's left on my deal. So it could be a 2-year, $85 million deal. The Yankees didn't want to go 7. I get it. And in an offseason where everybody else was getting 5, Alex Bregman got 5. And who the other free agents, they all got 5-year contracts. Bellinger wasn't going to get 7, so I'm okay with that.
When do pitchers and catchers report? It's got to be coming
days because I just saw the Yankees Instagram. They have all the bags and they're loading them up on the trucks. We're on the road, so pretty soon. I know pitchers and catchers are usually around Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
So, I mean it's a cool thing, man.
I'm starting to get excited for the season.
You know what? I got something else that's exciting, and I don't know if you saw this in the rundown, but I'm pumped. And this is maybe worthy of quick hitters, but dude, I don't even care.
I like the trailer. I think it looks like it'll be fun.
I think our paths crossed when you were 12 and I was 13. I was kind of done with action figures, but you know what we messed around with? If we were going to play with action figures like these guys.
Yeah, because you had the wrestling ring. You had. I remember. I thought that was like the height of luxury. I was like, his parents love him so much more than my parents.
But no, dude, I lived and breathed He-Man. I mean, we're gonna get some toys out. Let's get some toys out. I still have.
Oh, dang.
Castle Grayskull, and here's Skeletor trying to get into Castle Grayskull. Oh, come on, but on the other end of the spectrum, I have the power. I am He-Man. Bang.
I used to love. I think it was Burger King used to have like a tie-in with He-Man. And if you got a Happy Meal, they would throw a He-Man toy or
give you the glass
cups, like plastic.
Yeah, I remember the cups.
Yeah.
So we could Castle Grayskull in the background. You saw the trailer.
Yeah, it gave me big Guardians of the Galaxy vibes with bright colors and.
I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna try to do something for the people of the world who may not have seen it. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this.
All that stuff that only exists in legends and bedtime stories. Talking
First of all,
tigers,
that's an awesome Castle Grayskull.
It really is.
And magic swords.
And this is important to me. They got the sword right.
As a god. Where I come from,
this feels Eternian.
Is real.
And you get this kid. With all the thank you, MGM.
And I like how they're digging into the Superman.
I wanted you to be safe.
Of him being sent to Earth.
So I sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find you.
We'll go. This is funny. The he/him instead of he.
I thought that was funny
with
too.
Nerd stuff and sword things.
I saw people complaining about that online, calling
resources.
it woke or whatever. They need to shut up.
I know it sounds crazy, but that sword is gonna show me the way home.
Sir, you can't do that.
Don't worry, the sword's mine.
Look at that castle. That's cool. I'm down with that.
And I love the reveal
Hold
on
on,
Skeletor.
it's about to get weird.
Oh no. Big mountain. Auto action? Yeah, very battle.
What am I supposed to do?
They have like the vehicles are close. Yeah, look at that
Take
guy.
the sword. You protect
That
them.
was Michael.
I do like Idris Elba.
It looks orange. I think. For us either at the end here. Look at Snake Mountain. Look at that!
Yeah.
This is just.
We probably violated like 17 different copyright laws.
Oh, good. This fair use we were criticizing and commenting on it. So,
Oh, good.
I'm a couple things I got to tell you because I wrote this down as I was watching it. Number one, I find it very interesting that Prince Adam's cell phone shows the time in military time. Is that like, I don't know if that was supposed to be Eternian time or how they had that set up.
Yeah.
That was kind of weird to me. The opening shot of Grayskull is so much better and more OG looking than what they did in 1987. I don't know if you remember the 87 movie, but
Sure.
a lot of my comparison is going to be between those two.
With Frank Langella as Skeletor.
We'll talk about him in a second too. The power sword. This was so important to me. The abomination that they gave He-Man in 1987 would look like a Conan sword. And honestly, back in that movie, He-Man was using an M4 carbine assault rifle more than he used his sword. That's not He-Man. The other stuff that they have Beastman, Trapjaw, Evelyn, Teela, Fisto, Spikor, Queen Marlena, all of the original characters that we would have played with, not Karg and Blade and Courtney Cox and Lubbock or whoever they and I think my favorite part was that part at the end when you got a giant snake mountain with the lava, like you know it's there. You're getting it. The only thing I'm worried about, and you said it's kind of cool with the Prince Adam Superman comparison. I don't want an 85% origin story where most of this is on Earth with human resources and all that stuff. Give me all the CGI in the world. Give me He-Man versus Skeletor. Don't give me 2 minutes of it at the end.
I think that's going to be like the last hour. I think the first hour is going to be like setting up why he has to be sent to Earth. Then it's going to be him on Earth kind of figuring out like what the deal is. And then the last hour is him going to be returning and then fighting.
I'm okay with a 50-50 split. I don't want 85-15 though. Because that's what the first one felt like. Like, all right, we have a little bit of Eternia. Skeletor's taken over Grayskull. That's okay. That's a serious issue. How do we fix that? We go to Earth.
It looks like it's going to be, and I mean this in a complimentary way. It looks like it's going to be big, dumb fun.
There's nothing dumb about it. It's big, awesome fun. You shut your mouth. I don't think I've been more pumped for a movie since maybe another Indiana Jones movie came out. And when it's funny, as I was going to the garage, I have all the figures in the garage in a bin. In the He-Man bin, I found I'm just gonna play with these for a little bit here. Hold on. I found I had old Indiana Jones action figures. I have that. It might be worth $1 or $2. I don't know.
We were a big He-Man was really my thing. My brothers were too old for He-Man, I think. And then we were more of like a Star Wars than G.I. Joe family. We had a lot of G.I. Joes. We had a lot of TIE fighters and things like that. And yeah.
Picture it. Hazleton, 1983. Little Meatballs is sitting at the kitchen table and Big Jake comes by with the Sears catalog, throws it on the table and says, "What do you want to play with?" I'm like, all right. So I looked, and it's the big toys back then were G.I. Joe and He-Man. I like swords. I didn't like guns. I still don't like guns. I still like swords.
Wasn't that one of the most exciting things when your parents would have the Sears catalog and you'd look through it at like
the Wish book or whatever it was? Yeah.
Like the old like Hutch jerseys. like the Atari games.
But that's when I got into He-Man. So I want you to check this out, and I might have to move it. So can you see this pretty well?
Yeah, decently.
So here's a comparison now. Which cast was better, the 87 version or the 2026 version? First at He-Man, we have Dolph Lundgren versus Nicholas Galitzin. Lundgren probably more famous for portraying Ivan Drago. But for me, physique-wise, people are complaining about the new guy, saying he's He-Man on Ozempic. and I get it. There's a short film on YouTube called The Fall of Grayskull, and if you watch the guy who plays He-Man there is stockier. He's big. Like you could have found a bigger He-Man, I think. I'll complain internally, but it won't make me not want to go see the movie.
In my mind, I'm seeing like a mashup commercial of He-Man and then like one of those Jardians commercials where it's like, I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it well.
I thought Dolph Lundgren was a good He-Man for what they did.
Yeah.
But he didn't speak really, good English. Attila, I'm going to take the power sword. That's more Arnold, I guess. But if you look at the outfit, the outfit for the new one is more source material. It's more what we played with, right? What they gave Dolph Lundgren a cape. He doesn't have a cape. Come on, that's stupid.
Also, you have to remember that in 1987, like making a live action He-Man movie was kind of like a fringy. It wasn't like a big budget thing like this is.
Hold on. That's budget for 87 He-Man. They lost a ton of money on this.
I don't doubt it.
It was a budget of it was $22 million. And they ran, I remember this, they ran out of money before they filmed the final scene, which is why the He-Man Skeletor battle had the black background, because they weren't going to film it originally. And they're like, what are you talking about? We have to do this. This is the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they lost a ton of money doing stupid stuff. So I'm cool with both of them. Man at Arms, John Cypher in the original, Idris Elba as the new one. I thought Cypher was fine, but he came off as he looks old. He looks ready to retire.
See, and like I said, I really like Idris Elba. I think he's going to be a step up.
I hate to be that guy again, but if you look at the costumes, Man at Arms had that weird half a circle that covered his mouth. I never understood what it was. John Cypher doesn't have that. Idris Elba does. It's small, but it's there.
Yeah, it's the little details.
For the geek fan in me, yes. So I honestly think Elba wins that one for me. This one's tough because honestly, Franklin, if you watch the 87 movie now, it doesn't really hold up. As a kid, I was like, yay. Sure. But now, but Frank Langella was a bright spot in that movie as Skeletor. I mean, he was Dracula, and then he was Skeletor. The guy who plays Skeletor in the new one, Jared Leto, was Paul Allen in American Psycho. I think the advances in CGI are going to help Leto a lot. But aside from, again, the blue look, because, Skeletor, Keldor, whoever you want to call him, had that blue skin stuff going on, Langella was just remarkable in his role. Remarkable.
I mean, Leto's a good actor, though. I mean, he doesn't always pick the best projects, but I don't
think you have to be a good actor. And if they don't make Skeletor like the wise ass that he was in the cartoons, you baggling buffoons. It's an opportunity missed. I think they're going for badass Skeletor. And Skeletor wasn't really a badass.
I'll be curious to hear the voice. Because I'm wondering if they're going to try to give him like a deep, rumbly, like sinister voice.
I'm afraid of, man, and that's not Skeletor. I mean, as badass as he was as a bad guy, he he had bumbling buffoons. Like Beastman had like an IQ of -12, and
Skeletor was a bit whiny, wasn't he?
Very, and I think they're gonna monsterfy him. But last one, Chelsea Field in the original, Camila Mendes, Tila in the new one. If we're going off of looks, I think it's a push, honestly. Now, if we're going off of which one looks most like the cartoons, I think Mendes gets the nod just for the costuming. Again, look at the outfit she's wearing, straight up what Tila has. Her hair's not up, and with the weird headband that Tila had. But that's Tila's outfit. What they gave Chelsea Field in 1987, she looks like she's in like Star Wars or I don't know.
I think a lot of those like costume details are a lot more important to productions now than they were in 1987. Just because the internet, it gets debated and it can kill a movie, like the pre-movie talk. Yeah. You know, if people are like, you know, these guys are posers. They don't even know like what the costumes are supposed to look like. How can we trust them to write a script? You know,
you feel a little bit like the comic book guy in The Simpsons.
A little bit, and it's funny because I do that a lot with the Marvel stuff. Like when the trailers come out, and I'm like,
my sister.
I don't know if I believe Reed Richards' the tensile strength of his stretching ability. You know,
worst trailer ever.
Yeah, I've really become insufferable. More so.
So, I would tell you, I am as pumped about this as anything. And what was the other? There was another thing that people were asking me, like, are you really excited? Maybe it was this. I don't know. But yeah, I'm super pumped. Little tidbit for you on Chelsea Field, the Tila from 1987. She's married to Scott Bakula, Quantum Leap fan.
Oh. Fun little tidbit.
How about that? There you go. So the other thing that happened last week, movie-wise, we'll stick with movies here. Major studios taking risks last year seemed to pay off. With the Academy voters, nominations were announced last Thursday. And as one who doesn't pay a lot of attention to this, I will default to you a lot for this. One of my biggest complaints last year dealt with, the movie Wicked. Wicked was my favorite musical, but they did like a split movie, which I thought was kind of interesting because, you have Act 1, you have Act 2, but they split it up into 2 years. And what my family thought is they were trying to double up on their Academy Awards. This year, Wicked was nominated for nothing. Nada. Zilch. The first Wicked film, 10 nominations. So I was mad about the whole double year thing, so I don't mind that they kind of got shut out this year. But what can you tell us about the nominations this year? Because, again, like I said, you follow this a lot more closely than I do.
Well, the big thing is Sinners got 16 nominations. The previous record was 14. So, just a lot of support across the board for Sinners. And, I like that it's an original screenplay. It's not like an existing property or an adaptation. It's an original Ryan Coogler script and idea, and it's out there. He didn't play it safe. He made a movie about racism in the 1930s South. That's also a vampire movie. I
looked it up a little bit last week, and what is this movie about? That's a pretty good good description.
Yeah. Just using the vampires as a metaphor for like the Jim Crow South. It's interesting when someone takes a big creative swing and gets rewarded for it. So I just saw One Battle After Another, which was nominated for 13. Got 13 nominations. That was really good. I really liked it. Sean Penn got nominated for supporting actor. He's I think the best performance in the movie.
You know me and what entertains me when I like that movie.
It starts slowly, so I think you'd get antsy 30 minutes in, because I was antsy. I was like, get to the fireworks factory.
Get the chili cook-off.
Yeah. But if you stick with it, I think you'd enjoy it.
I watched Fargo that one time on your. It took me like 17 years, but when you watch Wicked, I'll get there.
Fair enough. I'm not watching Wicked 2.
Oh man,
you does not get to put its hand in my pocket twice.
I'll tell you the story then, because it's a good story. What else is going on with? So we have. I'm going to kill these names. Begonia.
Mm-hmm.
F1. Frankenstein.
That's on Netflix.
Is that what I'm thinking? Like the actual Frankenstein?
Yeah, adaptation of the Mary Shelley story?
Not Hamlet. We have Hamnet.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's probably going to win Best Actress for Jessie Buckley, who's the lead in that.
Spielberg's part of that one. Marty Supreme. Is that like a new cheeseburger?
I saw that Christmas Eve. It was really good. Chalamet's probably going to win Best Actor. He's outstanding.
Battle After Another?
Yeah, One Battle After Another. That's DiCaprio and
Secret Agent.
Yeah, that's a Brazilian movie, foreign movie.
Sentimental Value.
Another foreign movie, but did really well. Got a couple acting nominations.
Sinners and Train Dreams then would be the nominees for Best Picture. That's like, it's one of the big ones that people look at outside of Best Actor, Actress. There's a lot. I'm looking at the categories here on the Oscar.org page. A lot of stuff. And again, this is me not knowing a lot about Hollywood. I've heard of Timothée Chalamet. I know Leonardo DiCaprio. I've heard of Ethan Hawke. Michael Jordan, not who I'm thinking of, I don't think.
No.
Michael B. Jordan.
This would be Apollo Creed's son.
Gotcha. And Wagner Moura.
Yeah, from The Secret Agent.
I've actually heard of at least 4 of those 5. And then the leading actress, I'm at, I know Kate Hudson and Emma Stone. But yep. Jessie Buckley, Rose Byrne, and Renate Renvise, I can't even say the lady's name. Maybe I know them to see them, but, you know.
Rose Byrne, like, did you see Bridesmaids? Did you see Bad Neighbors, where Seth Rogen lives next door to a fraternity house?
Maybe, but if it was forgettable if I did.
Well, Rose Byrne.
A lot of Seth Rogen stuff is forgettable for me. It's fun for like the hour that you're there, and then you're like, I have to think like an adult now.
Do you remember the FX show Damages, like in like the 2000s with Glenn Close?
Oh, I watched a lot of cool stuff that I wish I remembered so I could go back and watch it again. That might have been one of them.
Rose Byrne was on Damages. She was a young lawyer who was kind of being mentored / terrorized by Glenn Close. Okay.
That's do you have any dark horse picks, or are you going to lay some DraftKings?
If I'm setting a line, I think One Battle After Another wins Best Picture.
Write it down.
And I think Paul Thomas Anderson wins Best Director. Chalamet will win Best Actor. Jessie Buckley will win Best Actress. I think Stellan Skarsgård wins Best Supporting Actor, although Delroy Lindo, a lot of people are happy to see him finally get nominated, so he's maybe got a shot. And supporting actress, maybe someone like Amy Madigan from Weapons or Teyana Taylor from One Battle After Another.
The one that I care about now, just based on my son, the original score for music. Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, One Battle After Another, or Sinners? Who wins the original score for music? This is a die roll.
See, I think having watched One Battle After Another, I love the score, but a lot of people hated it because it's very unusual. And the movie Sinners is so much about music that they might go with Sinners there.
Well, that's the one I'll follow because I have dreams of Derek doing that someday. So when are the Oscars?
Like early to mid-March.
Okay,
coming up in about 5 weeks.
It'll be a little warmer then.
Conan O'Brien will be hosting again. You know he's my guy.
Quick hitter time. 6 of them coming at you, and this one probably could have been a full story. The last time we talked, I fixed the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they didn't listen because they went out and they signed former Packers and Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy. And there's some belief in the building, sources telling the worldwide leader, that bringing McCarthy into the fold could lure 42-year-old quarterback Aaron Rodgers to return. If you remember my plan to fix the Steelers, my plan was to not bring Rodgers back. And is McCarthy a good fit for this? And what would your thoughts be on Rodgers' year 2 in Pittsburgh?
I was surprised with the McCarthy hire. Everything about Mike McCarthy screams short-term solution, and the Steelers are a long-term solution.
This is a bridge guy.
Yeah.
I didn't think Pittsburgh did bridge guys, but whatever.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The Steelers are a long-term solution franchise, and McCarthy's a Band-Aid.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers generally aren't afraid to go out and like go on a limb. Like Mike Tomlin was a limb pick. I think Bill Cowher might have even been a limb pick back in the day.
Yeah. They weren't, like the hot names that were being thrown around when either one of them was hired.
Rodgers year 2, though. What do you think?
I mean, if you bring in Rodgers year 2, you're essentially saying that you're content to be mediocre. And that's not a knock on Aaron Rodgers. I think it's saying that, you're gonna run back what you did this year, and you're gonna go 9-8.
And you almost missed the playoffs this year. So I mean, they're gonna do it until they do miss the playoffs.
And I mean, you'd have to imagine Baltimore's gonna be better.
It's tough. I'm telling you.
What's that?
Cincinnati's still gonna be tough.
Hey, they're already undefeated in 2026.
Haven't lost a game yet this year, so the 2 teams coming up have a chance to lose this year. One of them, the Seattle Seahawks. According to reports from The Athletic, the Seahawks are expected to be up for sale after the Super Bowl. So you want to pull our allowance money?
What do you think the going price for the Seahawks will be, especially if they win the Super Bowl?
$1 billion.
Oh, God. It's going to be much more than that.
Let me see. Seattle Seahawks net value. Oh, wow. I was short. As of early 2026, they have an estimated net value of approximately $6.6 billion.
Yeah.
So the sale price, let's go $8 billion.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, we might need a third partner to go in with us on this one.
Today is Eric Perini's birthday. I'm sure he's going to get a couple of cards with money in it. He's a Dolphin fan, but do you want to come in with us, Eric?
Yeah. What better way to spend your birthday money than to waste it on bidding on the Seahawks?
Up on the Seattle Seahawks. There it is. A couple weeks ago, this doesn't cost you any money unless you want it to cost money. We interviewed a guy named Tom Sillo, oldest position player to play college football, and he announced on TikTok last week that he was nominated by Muscle and Fitness magazine to be a part of a contest. The winner gets $20,000 and a feature article in Muscle and Fitness. And I know with a national magazine that's on par with us here on Soup and Meatballs, it's really something he wants to do. So I have a link down below. I actually posted it on our Facebook page, and I shot it out to the world. You get a free vote, and then Muscle and Fitness is trying to get you to buy votes too. I mean, if we get a bunch of people just to vote for free, give the guy a vote, right? He was a cool guy. I think he deserves it.
Sneaky T, right? That was the nickname, Sneaky T?
Sneaky T. Let's get him some sneaky votes there. So MrHealthAndFit.com/2026/Tom-Sillo, Cillo. Check that out. Check this out. Another visual one for you. I play a trivia game with the family called Outsmarted. I'm terrible at it, but I win every now and then. This question came up in one of the things. This was a question from Maria, actually, and she's on a lower level. Science suggests early humans made soup as early as 6,000 BC. What was the primary meat ingredient? And like they give you the multiple choice there: chicken, hippopotamus, boar, or turtle. Maria got this wrong.
I'll say boar.
Maria picked turtle. She was wrong. The actual answer is hippopotamus.
What do you think hippopotamus? It seems like it would be a gamey protein.
Very, very difficult to, first of all, kill, because hippopotamuses are they're for real.
They are for real.
So,
I've seen them at zoos.
No, I mean, like, I wouldn't want to mess with them.
Oh yeah,
but they can't taste good. You got a lot of. You need to spice them up like a lot, I think. But
yeah, maybe some paprika on that.
Last week we got hit with what is expected to be the first major snow of 2026. Maybe another one coming up. There's this week. Growing up, Tim, what was your favorite snow day activity?
Oh, Heights Terrace football games.
On a snow day, like from school. Did we go play football then?
It would depend how much snow we got.
Okay.
I mean, video games obviously were always a hit. I remember Blizzard in '93. I had the idea to rent a Star Wars Super Nintendo game from Blockbuster because I was like, we can then plausibly tell them we couldn't get back to return it. So I got the game, no late fees for the entire week.
Good idea. I like that idea. I don't know if it was the snow of '93 or '96. What stood out to me was CBS airing all the Kids in the Hall episodes. Like that's kind of when like I got introduced to that, and like, man, this is funny stuff.
Yeah, I want to say that was '93 because I feel like Matt introduced me to Kids in the Hall because he was a freshman at BU and he came home over Christmas break and he was like, "Here's this show you've got to see," and so like '93 would have been around that time. I was watching Kids in the Hall clips yesterday.
They come up every now and then on my TikTok. Last one. We talked at length about the He-Man movie. What 1980s action figure do you think should get the next big screen feature?
Whew.
There's 3 that stand out to me that don't have one yet. I was just talking about this yesterday with the guy pulled up the list. I'm like, there are a lot of movies from 1980s toys that already exist. There's 3 that don't.
I'm trying to think of like a property from the 80s. Like Voltron hasn't really.
That's one. And that would have to be 100% CGI. And you know what? I don't care. I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
I think that would be cool.
I'm trying to think of any other toy that they haven't just absolutely milked dry.
There's another one with a sword.
I wonder if they've had talks about making like a modern Cabbage Patch Kid movie.
Okay. I mean,
kind of like they did with Barbie. Like try to find some sort of like
or the Barbie movie. That's a better comp, I think.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe the Sword of Omens with Lion-O and the Thundercats.
Oh yeah, I loved Thundercats.
And I saw a TikTok of they did AI is all over the place. Like who would play all these characters, and they had The Rock playing Panthro, and the one comment is like, "Dude, it has to be Terry Crews." And I'm like, you know what? The Rock actually wouldn't be a bad Panthro because he's pretty jacked, and you know,
that's kind of the thing.
Yeah. The other one I thought of was more, I think that they're off the radar. Mobile Armored Strike Command, better known as MASK.
Oh yeah,
the cars. It was like a Transformer clone, kind of, sort of, but they didn't turn into robots. They had a motorcycle that turned into a helicopter. They had a sports car that turned into a jet. Like the 2 vehicles for the price of 1. And they battled Venom, the very evil network of mayhem.
It's not so much a toy property, but I'm surprised just because, like, we got like a Chip and Dale's movie, like the Chipmunks, not the.
Oh yeah, Ellen and Chipmunks,
not the male strippers.
Ellen and the Chipmunks, not Chip and Dale. Chip and Dale or Disney.
But do you remember Tailspin?
Yeah. Big Baloo.
Yeah, I would watch a Tailspin movie. I don't know if it's popular enough to get the big movie treatment, but
that'd be a Disney movie though.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how well the He-Man movie does. Might determine if we get Thundercats or Voltron, because I think either one of those would be kind of cool. We will see. It is draft time here on Soup and Meatballs. We're an hour and a half in. It's a heavy week. We missed last week. So what are we drafting today?
We are drafting last week. What inspired this was it was the anniversary of the Cheers spinoff, The Tortellis, which was truly a terrible show. The Tortellis, not Cheers. So I said we could draft our favorite TV spinoffs.
And spoiler alert, I did not put the Tortellis on my list.
It did not make mine either.
Bummer. Number and color.
5 black.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is Roosevelt's infamy speech, the declaration of war on Japan in 1941. December 7th, 1941, the U.S. naval base on the island of Oahu, Hawaii, was subject to an attack by Japan. In less than 2 hours, the U.S. Pacific Fleet was devastated and more than 3,500 Americans killed or wounded. On December 8th, 1941, the day after the attack, President Franklin Roosevelt delivered his Day of Infamy speech. Immediately afterward, Congress declared war and the U.S. entered World War II. It is, unfortunately for you, the 8 of Hearts, which, as you can see, is red.
But it was such a black day.
And giving me the top pick, which is bleak and black for you, I guess. I don't know. As I put these guys back away, I get my list out here. I don't think you're going to be surprised by my top pick. So let's see. Max picks first. And this was, I think, the first spinoff that I thought of when we mentioned that, we were going to do spinoffs. A spinoff of Growing Pains, Give Me Just the 10 of Us.
Okay. Oh, boy. I thought you were going to steal my number one. I was just, got to catch my breath.
There's another spinoff of Growing Pains?
No, but Just the 10 of Us was a fun show. I haven't seen it since it aired.
I'm sure it holds up with Coach. Oh, that guy was awesome.
Coach Lubbock, yeah.
And the other stuff that
yeah, you like the attractive daughters.
Makes it better, yeah. Well, the older ones.
Yeah. So for my number one, I don't know if you'll quibble with my definition of spinoff.
We're going to get into semantics here on the first pick.
Well, because it's a show that existed on another show and then was turned into its own thing. I'm taking The Simpsons.
Okay, that's fair.
Because The Simpsons cartoons were on the Tracy Ullman show, and then Fox was like, "We need content. Give us more of that." So The Simpsons got their own show.
I will. How many was on your list?
I have 13 on my list.
Yeah, I mean, I should not allow it then because you have a lot. No, I'll allow it. It's not really a spin-off, but it's a.
But it is. It was spun off from it started on one show and then.
You could say the same thing, I guess, for Beavis and Butthead.
That's which are not on my list.
Is that on your list too?
Yeah.
We'll see where that comes. I will allow it because The Simpsons has done. I haven't watched them in a long time, but they were a huge part of middle school, high school. That time was just. It was written well. There's so many characters now. It's a real good character driven show. We just talked about the comic book guy.
Yeah, and I feel like it's maybe the show that we have most constantly quoted among ourselves.
We've drafted that's there on the graphic. I have Lionel Hutz and Kent Brockman. You've got Mr. Burns and Millhouse.
Yep.
So it's got some roots here on Soup and Meatballs. So sure, we'll do that.
All right.
My number two is it's a spinoff of a show I never watched, and to be honest, I had to go online to see after Just the 10 of Us, I knew of a handful. I'm like, oh, I know I don't like that show, so I'm not picking that. I don't think that show is good, so I'm not picking that. I needed a list. So when I saw that this was a spinoff of a show, I'm like, wow, that's insane. It was a continuation of the show, The Practice. I'm going to take Boston Legal.
Oh, yeah.
Boston Legal is amazing.
Yeah, all those shows that were made by David E. Kelley, I think they're all connected in some way or another. Like The Practice, Boston Legal, because Denny Crane showed up in The Practice.
Did he? Okay. Well, James Spader and I can't think of his name on the show. He's not Raymond Reddington there. When they give him a monologue, that's the best 2 minutes of the show.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that is because the guy who created it was a lawyer, David E. Kelley. So he was a lawyer, then he went to write for LA Law, and then every show that he wrote involved lawyers because he wrote for he created Picket Fences where it always came down to some sort of court case. Boston Legal, The Practice, Ally McBeal is one of his shows where they were all lawyers.
There you go. But I watched Boston Legal because I saw clips of James Spader on TikTok. His monologue with the Supreme Court. I'm like, this looks like a show I can get into. And Jen watched it with me, and we both loved it. It was a good time. I don't know if I'd want to go back and watch The Practice, though.
It's funny. I don't think I've watched The Practice since it was on, but I enjoyed it when it was on.
What? So the Boston Legal is a spinoff, so that's my number 2.
My number 2, I don't have to, no quibbling here. It's just a straight up spinoff. And it's a show I happen to be rewatching at the moment just because I like it so much. It's Better Call Saul.
Okay. I have seen, speaking of lawyers, clips of it on TikTok. Is this a spinoff of Breaking Bad?
Yeah, it's both prequel and sequel.
Jen and I watched the first maybe episode or 2 of Breaking Bad. It didn't hit for us, and not that I wouldn't watch Better Call Saul, but I haven't yet. That might be one of those. Maybe I'll get to it later.
Better Call Saul is interesting because it takes a character who's essentially a clown in Breaking Bad. He's the big, garish, ambulance chasing lawyer.
Yeah,
and it really makes his descent into becoming that like a thing of tragedy. It's surprisingly well done. I shouldn't say surprisingly well done because I really enjoyed Breaking Bad, but I might like Better Call Saul more.
That's fair. And with nothing to add to it other than the few clips I've seen on TikTok, that the court scenes are interesting. So I don't know how about what the exposition does or character development does. From how many seasons is it?
6 seasons.
6. So from season to season, how he changes. I would put that on the short list. Like, I got nothing to do this summer. Let me start it and see. Where's it streaming?
Netflix.
Okay. I mean, I have that. So yeah, there it is, Netflix.
There you go.
We'll see. I'm currently watching Sons of Anarchy on Hulu. I don't know how many seasons that is, nor do I know if it's a spinoff. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is.
I'll need something after that. My number 3 is a spinoff of, man, if I had to pick my favorite sitcoms, and then we might have drafted our favorite sitcoms, I don't remember. And if we did, it would have made my top 5. I really like The Big Bang Theory, and I liked Young Sheldon for a lot of different reasons. Sheldon reminds me of Derek in a lot of ways, and the dad on Young Sheldon, when you knew what was going to happen. They did it so well, and they teased the infidelity thing, which never happened. So you feel good that he's a good dad. And it's weird watching young Sheldon start as like this 5-year-old. It's kind of like the Stranger Things kids. He was like this, and then the end of the series, he's an old man almost.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've never really watched Young Sheldon. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 episodes. But it's always been odd to me how they took like the classic multi-camera sitcom like Big Bang Theory and went to a completely different format for the spin-off show.
They've spun off the spin-off now.
Yeah.
CBS is trying to milk everything they can out of Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, it's just a Russian nesting doll, and each doll just has more money in it.
Yeah, and I've watched the Marriage of George and Mandy. We have like 5 episodes on the DVR that we just haven't got to, and that's fine. It's okay. I'll watch it. It's nothing special. I liked Young Sheldon.
I mean, I didn't dislike what I saw. I just maybe lacked context because I was like, now who's this? Who's this? Who was this? Is that someone I should know?
Yeah,
I was playing a lot of catch up. Boy, a lot of ways that I can go here. But I'm going to go with a bit of an unconventional choice. Just because he's someone who has a show that's ending in a couple months. But his previous show is one of my favorites. And that's The Colbert Report.
So I saw that, and I feel I don't watch a lot of The Daily Show / Colbert Report. Just for what time it's on. I actually have The Daily Show DVR'd. But I get so many of the monologue news pieces. I get so much of that on TikTok. I don't feel the need to ever watch it on the DVR.
For
it's
me,
good stuff, though.
Like watching Stephen Colbert as Stephen Colbert, like doing interviews in character, is just such like on a performance level. It's so impressive that he's doing basically improv with a non-improv person, like a political figure, a media personality. and they only sort of know that they're in an improv skit. It's I don't know. It was always not only interesting television, but just very funny because the character, like the conservative blowhard Stephen Colbert, was so well done. I liked the Colbert Report more than the Daily Show.
Good pick. I could see that. That's fair. I mean, we haven't stolen anybody's yet. I have my 4 through 10, and I could go a lot of weird different ways. And I'm just going to pick number 4. I mean, I don't think you're going to pick any of these, quite honestly. So we're going to have a top 10s. My number 4 was something that I got into with Derek back in 2020. We started watching all kinds of Star Wars stuff, and then when Disney Plus started putting out stuff like The Mandalorian, like we got into that. They spun off the Book of Boba Fett. They pulled that from The Mandalorian, and we really enjoyed, how Boba Fett came to be, because when we last saw him, he was in the Sarlacc.
Yeah,
and we thought that was it, but no, there's a whole series for him, and it was entertaining and well done, I thought.
And it's tough for me because I love Star Wars, and I've encountered this with Marvel too, where I love Marvel, but there's so much content that it gets overwhelming to be like, wait, there's another Star Wars show?
Yeah, we felt like that with Andor. I don't think we even finished Andor.
It's like that with Marvel now, where like there's a new Marvel show out now, Wonder Man, and I haven't started it yet just because, I'm like I need. Let's all calm down here, okay? Because now there's going to be Daredevil season 2 will come out next month, and then it feels like there's always something. It starts to feel like homework.
Oh my god!
It really does start to feel like I'm not even doing it for joy, and I'm just doing it to complete the set.
I have to watch this. Yeah, so I think Disney Plus is putting out Maul in a couple weeks. But that, I mean, I thought Darth Maul is one of my favorite characters in the series, so I'll watch that gleefully, probably. But I can, like the next series of The Mandalorian and all that. Yeah, I can appreciate what you're saying, where they're oversaturating the IP a little bit. But the Book of Boba Fett was good.
And I didn't know they were doing a Darth Maul spinoff. I actually might want to watch that.
I think it's just called Maul. How he becomes like a gangster underworld leader, prequel to the Solo movie.
I'm trying to think what direction I want to go in next here.
You're not taking my 5. I can almost guarantee it. If you do, I will buy you a cookie. I already have it written down.
I guess I'll go with part of me didn't want to include this in my top 5 just because I was like, well, that whenever people talk about spinoffs, they talk about Frasier being one of the great spinoffs, but it's legitimately a great show, and I'm a big Cheers fan, obviously. And I just rewatched Frasier like maybe two or 3 years ago, and it just really holds up. It's very funny.
Would you be surprised for me to tell you I don't think I've seen any Frasier outside of like a clip here or there?
I watched it when it was first on. It wasn't like appointment viewing, but I watched like the first 2 or 3 seasons, and then I kind of got out of it. Like certainly by college, I wasn't, staying in to watch Frasier. But then when in the 2000s, like when it was in syndication, it's just, it's always enjoyable. Like it's a show that, for 30 minutes is just going to make you laugh.
I think I might have been more interested in a spinoff on Cliff Clavin. Just how, like, I could see this, how, like, the reason why he goes to the bar is because he's bullied at the post office. And I think you could make him a sympathetic character where he tries to pull off his weird trivia and they tell him to get lost or something. And
do you move Cliff Clavin to another city?
No, it'd be about him in Boston. But how, like, his fighting, the boss could be like the bad guy, the antagonist, and there's other people, and it's he wants to move up in the rank, like he wants to be postmaster general of Boston or whatever, but the man keeps holding him down and forcing him to go drink, and you get a Norm Peterson cameo once a season because he's the big guy, right? I liked Cliff. The Frasier character was like, okay. Which is why I didn't think I was drawn to the spinoff very much.
Have I ever told you my story about John Ratzenberger, the guy who played Cliff?
You might have, but tell the viewers.
So this would have been back in 2014. And I was invited to go, Penn College in Williamsport. It's a technical college for anyone who doesn't know. And they have speakers who come to talk about the merits of a technical education, learning a trade. And so John Ratzenberger was their invited speaker. And very quickly, it turned into like the ramblings of a madman. Where he was, and I'm not saying because he's conservative, but he was talking about how like he was a carpenter who built stages at Woodstock. And if he'd known what the hippies were going to do to this country, he would have made sure the stage was built so it would have collapsed and killed hippies. And I was like, oh, we are watching a mental breakdown from an 80s sitcom side character. Holy hell. And it was like an hour and a half of him just being like, and I left that hippie in a hole in the desert and they're never going to find him. Let me tell you about the episode where I was on Jeopardy. It's just like, it was like watching Charles Manson like interviewed in prison. It was like just all over the map. And then at the end, he was like, "Oh yeah, and maybe if you want to become a mechanic, go to a trade school." Like he just threw that in, so it was like thematically relevant.
You know what? That rings a bell that you told me that story. Many other people watching it now know about Cliff.
My friend who invited me, we referred to that night as the Ratzenberger rant.
My number 5 is it's a spinoff from a cable show that my wife and I would watch. It was like one of those dirty pleasures, or like what do you call those? Like you shouldn't be watching this, but you can't turn away. And we would watch this show on MTV called 16 and Pregnant.
Oh, okay.
And they spun off Teen Mom. And like again, like they're sensationalizing underage pregnancy, which is not a good thing at all.
Right.
But the 4 characters they picked for the original had at least storylines that like you wanted to follow. This one girl, Macy Bookout, was from Tennessee, who like you could tell she messed up. I had this kid in high school, but she really felt like someone who cared about her kid, and the guy she was with was a complete whatever. You followed that. And then the one girl who became infamous online for being an adult star when she became of age, she was part of that. And then there was another one who would just fight with her mother all the time. And like the mom would yell like, "You're smoking weed with Kiefer." And it was like almost you felt dirty watching this, but it was crazy, wild entertainment.
Can you just repeat again into my good ear? What would the mother say?
You're out there smoking weed with Kiefer.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I want to make sure I heard that properly.
Wild stuff, man.
I didn't think to go that way, but there was a time where I watched Rock of Love and then its spinoff, Flavor of Love.
It was on VH1. That was the other music channel.
Yeah. But
neither of those, so they couldn't make
Flavor of Love did not make my list. Boy, what do I want as my number 5 here? I'm gonna go just because I have other ones that kind of stretch the meaning of the word spinoff. I'm gonna go with Happy Days, which is a legitimate spinoff.
It is. And Happy Days for me always meant it meant dinner at my house. The song. So
I watched the reruns as a kid. It's a happy memory. Obviously the Fonz, but I like Mr. and Mrs. C. So I'm happy with Happy Days as my number 5.
I would go with you too. It smells like my Beach Street kitchen, because like I said, it came on right at dinner time.
Yeah.
So, that absolute good pick. We haven't doubled up yet. So How about this? I have 5 honorable mentions. How many do you have?
I've got 8 honorable mentions.
Okay, let's just go back and forth.
Okay.
Just real quick. Celebrity Jeopardy, only because it gave us Sean Connery on Saturday Night Live.
Sure, that's a good one. In the Happy Days universe, I also went with Laverne and Shirley.
A spin-off of The Cosby Show, A Different World.
Oh, that's a good one. A lot of people don't realize that the Andy Griffith Show was a spin-off of the Danny Thomas Show.
Did not know that. Did you know that the Golden Girls had a spin-off show? It was called Empty Nest.
Oh, sure. And Golden Palace, like a sequel series to Golden Girls.
Oh, that didn't make the list.
I was a big fan of Animaniacs and its spin-off Pinky and the Brain.
Ooh, nice. One of the shows we actually watched with the kids during lockdown, we ran through a bunch of sitcoms. Family Matters, spinoff of Perfect Strangers.
Yeah.
Somehow.
You know, I love All in the Family, and I also love The Jeffersons. It's spinoff about a family moving on up to the East Side.
Somehow I got through a top 10. Spinoff of Different Strokes, The Facts of Life.
We were talking about Disney cartoons.
Oh, you know, I'm done. I'm out.
Okay, so we were talking about Disney cartoons. How about a spinoff of DuckTales, a little show called Darkwing Duck?
I didn't watch Darkwing Duck, but the
love
theme
Darkwing
song,
Duck.
the theme
Let's
song,
Get Dangerous.
Yeah, dangerous.
Yeah,
I was so cheesy.
the aforementioned Beavis and Butthead, which was spun off from Liquid Television.
Liquid TV. That was a wild show, man.
Yeah, Aeon Flux, and yeah. Another cartoon. How about the Muppet Babies?
Okay, yeah. Oh, I love
the Muppet Babies.
Yeah, with you.
And
there.
then finally, this one is a little where the definition gets shaky, but the characters on the Honeymooners originated on the old Jackie Gleason show. So technically, the Honeymooners is a spinoff of the Jackie Gleason show.
Or okay, whatever. But that's amazing. We got through that many with no. I didn't steal any of yours. You didn't steal any of mine.
Yay, TV!
I you know, it's a good media show today.
Yeah, He-Man, Oscars.
Sports what? We go back to sports now. Our top 5. You pulled out this top 5 too. What are we doing?
So I said we should pick our top 5 jerseys, like of a specific player, and also not from a team that is one of the teams we root for.
Yes,
but like a jersey that we would, like a classic jersey we would like to own.
That's fair. And I went one step further with mine. So I picked players that not on teams that I specifically root for, but I also picked real players. So I actually have a Bayside AC Slater jersey.
Sure.
It's a Halloween costume. So Polk High's number 33, not on my list.
I do have somewhere. I have a Ricky Vaughn number 99 shirt.
Just this, not the jersey.
Right. It says Indians and then Vaughn 99.
Gotcha. Okay, so you lead us off. Who's and I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're in no discernible order.
Yeah, I've always thought this was quite possibly the coolest jersey from one of the coolest players in NBA history. That's the old ABA Dr. J Nets jersey, like the red, white, and blue bicentennial. You can just see Dr. J with that fro driving the lane.
I don't want to look it up, but it's got like the stars on the side.
Yeah, it's got the stars on the side, the 32.
That's fair, man.
A pre NBA Dr. J was maybe the coolest player in professional basketball history.
Yeah, I will. I'll follow you basketball wise because this is my number 3 on the list, but it's number 1 in my heart here. The old 1992 or 92 or 93, whatever he was a rookie, the teal Larry Johnson Hornet jersey.
Oh yeah,
that was if you didn't have the starter jacket back in the 90s, you needed to have like some kind of teal jersey. When it was either Larry Johnson or Alonzo Mourning, but I thought Larry Johnson was cooler. You got the line in his head, the tooth thing going. Grandma Ma didn't hurt.
Yeah, and it's such a 90s look. like the teal and purple. And,
it had the white pinstripes. I don't think it had purple stripes in it.
Oh, okay.
That the purple might have been an alternate later.
It's funny how pinstripes became like the big fad of 90s jerseys, because the Bulls put pinstripes on theirs, obviously the Magic. But I think the Hornets were the gold standard.
So give me Larry Johnson. He's cool.
My number 2, I'm going with the powder blue Royals, Bo Jackson.
Okay. That's absolutely fair. And I'll just, I'll double up on you with you right there, because I took a jersey I actually did have, Bo Jackson with the White Sox.
Oh, sure.
So no, the old school, I don't know, maybe I'm in the minority with this. I'm not a big powder blue fan. I just took a teal jersey. So I like the Chargers teal blue. Everybody's like, oh, this is the coolest. I'm not into that. I don't know why.
I love the Chargers blue. I love the Royals powder blue.
The dark blue Natron Means jersey, junior set, like that I would get into. The powder blue, cornstarch blue, I don't know. But hey, if it's a Bo Jackson jersey, I'm with you.
Even the home, like the white with the royal blue, Bo Jackson 16. I mean, that's a nice look too, but I think the powder blue is sharper.
That's fair. And I went black White Sox pinstriped. The White Sox road jerseys, whatever. So we both went Bo number 2. Who do you got 3?
I'm going back to some classic NBA, and I'm going with the 80s Atlanta Hawks Dominique Wilkins. With the sort of sash style Hawks diagonally across the chest.
Now I don't have a. Okay, I got you. That's fair. That feels very 80s.
Yeah, it's definitely a very retro look.
Not the new one. So if you look up Hawks jerseys, they have this awful with the hawk clawing the basketball.
Their jerseys
with
are
like this
now.
Red stripe and a gradient. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah. No, the Dominique jersey, yeah, that feels very 80s-ish. I wasn't a big. It doesn't sound terrible. I wasn't a big Dominique fan. I don't think I got into basketball when he was really at the height of his popularity.
Anyone who's like an elite in-game dunker, because obviously Dr. J and Dominique
fits that bill.
He's right up there.
The rest of mine, they're all in football. So I have, for this guy, I took 2 of them, and I would rock either one of them. At Marshall Faulk in the Greatest Show on Turf Rams jersey, or one of his home San Diego State jerseys, like the black with the red on it.
I'll double up on you here, because I also took a Ram, but I took the 1980s, sort of like that lighter blue with the Eric Dickerson.
The ram head around the shoulder.
Yeah, the ram horn around the shoulders.
Oh man, those are terrible.
Oh, I love those.
Let me see what those look like. So
I'll even wear some rec specs. I'll go full on Dickerson.
Maybe. Oh, dude, that's awful. Oh my gosh. Now, if you want Eric Dickerson, you want to get. Of course, this isn't gonna. They actually have the one I'm talking about from Marshall Faulk with the Dickerson.
Oh, like the darker blue from like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Some reason, it's under shopping. That's why I want images, clowns. Here we go. Let's get this out here for you. You can buy one of these, $49.
That's very reasonable.
You can actually score that awful armpit thing. Oh, geez, that's brutal.
But both of yours, I like the college throwback.
I go with the college. Yeah, that's my real retro one. The other 2 are actually current. How many do you have left? You have 2 left?
I have because I threw Dickerson in there, so I have 1 left.
1 left. Okay, so I'm going to go with, I didn't want to pick 2 Rams. So like when I looked at the list, I'm like, well, who are players that I like? And I didn't want a Blake Corum jersey, so I think I went with my second favorite Michigan player from that era. I would rock a 2025 black Commanders jersey number 0 for Mikey Sanderstone.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Not that I like the team. I mean, I root against Washington as much as I can, but, you know, if Sanderson can get 6 interceptions a game, I'd be okay with that. As long as it's not against Chicago.
And I was trying to – I had one in mind that I didn't go with because I'll bring that one up in the honorable mentions. But my number 5, you know, and it might surprise you. I went hockey.
Yeah, that surprises me.
But I wanted to go with a little Jersey pride because I really do like those 90s Devils teams.
The Devils.
I would take a red either Martin Brodeur or Scott Stevens, either a 30 or a 4.
I think if I were going to wear a hockey jersey, it would be like a Chicago Blackhawks Griswold jersey.
Oh, sure.
The lack of hockey knowledge, fandom, caring. Yeah, I mean,
I watched I watched hockey then. I don't really watch it now, but I watched those like the Jacques Lemaire neutral zone trap Devils, like when they would play, you know.
I don't even know what that means.
Oh,
I watched hockey with my brother-in-law, who's a big Penguins fan. I watched the Penguins Red Wings Stanley Cup final at my wife's grandfather's house. I remember sitting in the chair watching it, like, I'm watching hockey. I don't know what's going on. You put the puck in the net, you get a point. I get that, but I don't know what icing is. I don't know what a line change. What's a line? I don't care.
Have you? You almost certainly have the show on HBO, Heated Rivalry. Have you heard about that?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
So just think.
That's hockey. Yes, because Jen's family wants her to watch it, and they think I might like it because of hockey. But I don't think so.
Well, so I will say it was really good. I did watch it. It was really good. But I got another level of enjoyment because the one guy is clearly Sid Crosby.
Okay.
Canadian guy, dark hair. He's kind of like the golden child, like, you know. And the other guy is clearly Ovechkin, Russian guy, kind of gruff.
Rivals.
So then when just watching Sid Crosby and Alex Ovechkin fall in love, it's so amusing to me.
That's the ridiculous part of it. Okay.
but also like it is legitimately like a really good show.
So my last one, I believe he's currently on the team. I think he is. He might possibly be like one of my favorite running backs in the league, like of the modern era, like today. And he's a fullback. The Ravens fullback, Patrick Ricard, because his arms are like this big. You get a picture of Patrick Ricard and just imagine that guy coming running at you, blocking you. And I want a throwback jersey, the 96, like the original, like their first jersey. It was a home purple with the white number and black and yellow outline.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to rock purple, Jen's favorite color is purple. Let's go with a Ravens fullback. But I think he started like in the 2000s. He started much later. He wasn't playing in 96, obviously, if he's still playing today. That jersey was cool for me.
Yeah, you know, I do like repping, just because there are so few true fullbacks. I do like repping not just the jersey, but the position.
Outside of his mom, who has a Patrick Ricard jersey.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one where I was kind of like, I don't know if I can include this on my list, was a Dream Team number 7, but the navy blue.
Yeah. I had a white Dream Team jersey, but the navy ones were a lot cooler, I think.
But then I was like, well, that's kind of cheating because Larry Bird played for the Celtics, and I'm always rooting for Team USA. It'd be weird if I like picked another country to root for in the Olympics. Like, no, I'm rooting for Sweden this year. But yeah, the Dream Team jerseys, and especially those navy blues, were outstanding.
Is that your 5? You're going there?
No, I had my 5. Dream Team was an honorable mention.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
my 5 were Dr. J, Bo, Dominique.
I didn't write down Dominique. That's it.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, I missed one. Good deal. That's cool. Aside from, which fake player aside from AC Slater and Al Bundy. Something weird to think about. But it is time to test your knowledge. Test my knowledge, I think you said. I have a couple of questions and a list. I don't like your odds with the list, but I guarantee you're going to get at least one of the questions right because you answered it, sort of. Sinners was nominated for 16 awards. It was a record. Which movie did Sinners pass?
There were 3 movies that had 14 nominations because Titanic, La La Land, and All About Eve.
You got 3 out of 3. Good for you. Do you know who has the most total awards won by a person?
Walt Disney.
22. Look at that. You're 2 for 2. And of this one, I don't know, maybe. Of all the pictures to win Best Picture, which is the most recent film that I have seen in its entirety?
Of all the movies to win Best Picture, the most recent film you've seen in its entirety.
Yes.
Okay. Let me work backwards. Let me work backwards here. There's no way you watched Denora. And I doubt you watched Oppenheimer. The last movie you watched in its entirety. Huh. And okay. So the way you phrase that makes me think it has to be like something that was so popular or crowd pleasing.
No, as soon as I started watching it and I watched to the end. No, like I haven't seen any of Oppenheimer, but if I sat and watched the first 10 minutes and then turned it off, that doesn't count.
Right. Okay. I'm going to say The Departed.
Yes, that's exactly right. 2006. Before that, I saw 2005. I saw Crash. 2002 was Chicago. I saw that, and then 2000 Gladiator. Then look at that. Look at you
on a roll.
Well done. Well, now here's where things are going to get weird. The list is I'm going to give you a nickname of a professional athlete.
Okay.
I want you to guess who has that nickname.
Okay.
Make sense?
Okay.
All right, here we go. The Pharaoh. The Pharaoh.
No idea.
You got to give me a name, dude.
Allah Abdul
Nabi. Ridiculous it is.
Allah Abdul Nabi, because he's Egyptian.
I can't spell this. I'm not. Just get close. All right, the Caveman.
The King of Man?
The Caveman.
The Caveman.
King of Man? No, Caveman. Like Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
I don't know. Anthony Davis with the eyebrow?
Nice. Buckhead. Buckhead.
John Ritchie, because he's got the horns. They're kind of like antlers.
I like it. Grim Reaper.
Okay, the Grim Reaper. Not the Slim Reaper, not Kevin Durant.
Grim Reaper.
Grim Reaper. I don't know. Ray Lewis, but I won't elaborate.
That's terrible. The Asterisk.
Barry Bonds.
The Blonde Bomber. I put these in order of ones I thought you might get right. You're 0 for 6 right now.
Yeah.
Which is okay. 0 for 5, rather. Which is okay.
Now, the Blonde Bomber sounds familiar, but I don't know who it is.
Yes. No, obviously, you don't know. It's okay. I'll tell you why. This makes sense here in a minute.
I'll say Dirk Nowitzki.
And the final one is Joe Cool.
Oh, Flacco.
Okay. That's a maybe. So, as I was preparing for the quarterback discussion, I made my list, and I don't know how many yards Joe Montana has. I don't know how many yards Tom Brady has. So you go to Sports Reference or NFL Reference, and they give you nicknames. Do you know that someone out there called Tom Brady the Pharaoh?
I did
No.
not.
I've never heard that. The Caveman was Peyton Manning.
Oh, because of that gigantic forehead.
The very large. Buckhead was Brett Favre.
All right.
Patrick Mahomes is the Grim Reaper.
Are you sure we heard the person referring to Favre correctly? That they were calling him Buckhead?
It's written so, and the B and
okay.
the F are pretty close on the keyboard. Maybe, you never know. Russell Wilson is the asterisk. I don't know why. Terry Bradshaw is the blonde bomber.
Oh, and then I guess
Montana. Joe Flacco might be Joe Cool, but Joe Montana was Joe Cool.
Yeah.
So when I started doing that prep work, I thought this is a list he's never going to get. I've never heard of the Pharaoh. Who calls him that?
I've never heard that.
So actually, there's a couple. If you go to the Tom Brady page, TB12 I've heard of.
Yeah.
Comeback Kid, Tom Terrific, Touchdown Tom, Goat, or Sir Tom.
See, I feel like at most an athlete can only have like 2 nicknames before it just gets ridiculous.
I think even 2 is pushing it. I mean, you're Donnie Baseballer, that's it. You don't get another one. You're the kid, that's it.
Well, here I've got for you.
Yeah, because here comes Mr. Noodlehead.
The NBA on the topic of jerseys released what the top selling jerseys of 2025 were. How many of the top 10 can you get?
Not many. Kobe Bryant.
All current players.
Oh, like I figured they're still selling Kobe jerseys.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, they definitely are. But no, all current players.
They're all current. So of the top 10 of the current players, LeBron.
He's number 5.
Anthony Edwards.
He's number 6.
Like Jalen Brunson.
He's number 3.
Or in New York, big market. Luka.
He's number 2.
Are they making Cade Cunningham jerseys?
He's number 14.
Yeah, not in the top 10. How about like a Jaylen Brown?
Not in the top 15.
Jason Tatum?
Number 8.
Okay. And it's still a current player. Steph?
He's number 1.
Okay. I'm like, if I don't get number 1, I'm going to feel bad. Kevin Durant.
He's 12.
What am I missing?
You're missing number 4, number 7, number 9, and number 10.
Oh, so I'm missing a bunch.
You're only missing 4.
Jokic that popular? Jokic?
He's number 9.
Okay. Oh, how about Wemby? Wembanyama.
He's number 4.
Okay, cool. So what's the lowest number I haven't gotten yet?
10, and then you're missing 7 as well.
Oh, so I'm missing 7 and 10. So I'm feeling good about myself. I got 8 of these. Wow, I didn't know I knew 8 players. Period.
And you got Durant at 12 and Cade Cunningham at 14.
Who is the Magic's top pick that you like? I can't think of his name.
You're thinking of Paolo Banchero?
Banchero, yeah.
It's not Paolo.
I'm going to take one more guess here before I call it Giannis.
He's number 13.
Okay. Who's 7?
Number 7 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, I didn't. Why did I not even think Thunder? Okay, and then 10.
10. Another pretty decently sized market. Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey.
I don't think I would have picked Maxey. SGA, I feel bad about. Maxey.
I can tell you number 15 was Donovan Mitchell. 14 was Cade Cunningham. 13 was Giannis. 12 was KD. 11 was Cooper Flagg.
Cooper, you know what? I'm surprised that when I said Luka from the trade from the Mavs, yeah, that
because Dallas is a big
usually
market, and like no doubt about it, number 1 pick.
All right, you had one other list. You said I feel good about this. It's gonna be something to make me feel bad.
Okay, so we talked earlier in the show about Indiana having won the national title.
They did in fact do that.
Obviously, they're known more historically as a basketball school. They became one of 11 Division I schools to win both a college football and college basketball national title. Who were the other 10?
Michigan,
yes.
Florida,
yes.
They're the easy ones. Going back, how far back do we have to go? Like pretty far.
Yes, some of these are going back into like the 30s and 40s.
Oh, baby. Okay. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame is not one.
Didn't win a basketball title. Okay.
Correct.
Where the wheels come off. Like the first two were super easy. It lulled myself into a sense of, yeah, maybe I'll get a couple of these. You're not counting Indiana on the list. If you are, that's cheating. The school like Texas up there?
That's a great guess, but no basketball titles.
Georgia?
Another great guess, but just not quite there in basketball.
Yeah, it's the basketball that's going to get me.
For
some reason, like I'm stuck on like Michigan State, Duke, UCLA. I don't think UCLA has won a national championship in football. I know Duke hasn't. Michigan State hasn't.
UCLA won the 1954 national title in football.
Oh, okay. Well, UCLA is not on the list. How about that?
And who else did you say there? Duke? No.
Duke. No. And so how about Ohio State? Did they like squeak a basketball title somewhere?
Ohio State won the 1960 national championship in basketball.
Okay.
Like the Jerry Lucas, John Havlicek teams.
I'm out. I can sit here and the people can listen to me and ah. So who else we got? I'm out.
Arkansas won the 1964 football championship, and then we remember the Nolan Richardson team in the 90s.
Yeah.
Cal was probably the toughest one because they won football titles in 1920, 21, 22, 23, and 37.
The good old days.
You mentioned Florida. We said Indiana. University of Maryland won the 1953 football championship, and then the Juan Dixon team won in
Next years, yeah.
You said Michigan. Michigan State has 6 football titles and 2 college basketball titles. Stanford has 2 football titles and 1 basketball title. Syracuse won the 1959 football national championship, and then the Mellon.
I knew they won the basketball title, but football, that
and then
blows
UCLA.
My mind. That's a good list.
Yeah, right?
That's neat, wild stuff, as they would say, Ed McMahon. Good show today, I think. I had a good time. Good.
Yeah.
A lot of weird stuff today.
Yeah, we had a lot to catch up on.
What do you got going the rest of the day? I'm going to go take down a set. Not looking forward to that. My legs aren't looking forward to it either.
Yeah, I feel like now you're just like, you want to talk for another hour? You got any more you want to say about the Oscars? Who do you like in best sound design?
I'll tell you what. Let me let's go to the Google News, and we click on Hazleton's local news. What's going on in Hazleton? Luzerne County modifying 4 projects and $1.6 million recovery funds. Okay, there's that. There's a reunion coming up for somebody. It's in the standard speaker. The class of 76 has a 50th class reunion coming up. $45 to hang out, and now I get the paywall. Like we can't talk about the class of 76.
This is the content that people are clamoring for.
They are school closings. First school district deciding to go virtual on Monday, and that would be in Atlanta. They do have
the
a
Dominic
ranking.
Wilkins jersey.
They do have the ranked of the 5 worst Super Bowl halftime shows.
The 5 worst?
Yeah. I don't remember this one, and I was definitely alive for it in 90s. So they didn't like the Black Eyed Peas in 2011.
Okay.
I mean, I think I like Fergie, but that's, whatever. The 1997 the Blues Brothers Super Bowl. Do you remember that?
I do.
I don't.
Yeah, it was like Aykroyd, John Goodman, and Jim Belushi.
They have Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake third. Obvious reasons probably. I was at Matt Chisnell's house for that game, and we were watching it, and we were like, "Did we just see what we think we saw?" That it was like so quick.
Like I remember being at work. I was at the newspaper, and I wasn't watching the halftime show because I was doing other stuff. And then there was like an AP news alert, like we'd invaded another country or something, and I was like, wait, what?
No, Janet Jackson's Nipplegate.
Yeah.
That's their number 3. The Disney halftime shows of 1991, 1995, and 2000. So Super Bowl 25, that's kind of when I started watching football. I don't remember the halftime show. Apparently it was Disney.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more interested in the best halftime shows because I think, and I'll bring it back to someone we've mentioned before, Prince playing Purple Rain in the Rain.
Yeah, the worst part about that was Chicago actually losing the game. But yeah, I'll give Prince's due. And the number 1 worst one was in 2019, but it came up with one of the best tweets I've ever seen, where it said, New England 3, LA 0, Maroon 5. I don't remember much about that halftime show, but the game was pretty unmemorable. Yeah, that's what's going on in the
news.
news.
A story about when Prince was getting ready to go on for his halftime show.
Yeah,
and like the event staff were like, "Hey man, it's raining out there, and the stage is slick, and your equipment might get." Like they were trying to prepare him for like basically a disaster, and he was just like, "Can you make it rain harder?" Like he knew it was a moment. It was going to be a cool moment.
Yeah, and it was. So good deal. Well, I could talk, but I'm going to get in trouble. So I'm going to hit the end stream button, and
that's fair.
We'll see you. I don't know when the next time is. Again, we're going to Disney, and stuff can happen. So until next time.